Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, 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 yeah! Drop and give me 20 right now. Drop and give me 20 right now. What's up, chat? I didn't want to stream today. I didn't even want to stream today. But we got, bro, I can't not stream. How am I gonna not stream? What's good, Nah? What's up, mods? What's up, all my day ones? What's up, season 1 viewers? What's up, all my members? What's up, green chat? What's up, Michael? Shout out to the donos. We got Tristan coming on Thursday. His face is fucked up right now. He got some injury from a fight. Tristan Tate's coming on Thursday. So prepare your questions for them. For now, bro, we got a lot to talk about. We always do. By the way, my documentary just dropped on the main channel. My documentary short film is out. It's out. Yo, chat, WL on the documentary. You fuck with it? You see it yet? If you ain't see it yet, link is in the description. That's the only shit in the description today. You know where the fuck the other links are at. I'm feeling good, Joe. Chat, I was about to take a nap, and I'm like, man, wake the fuck up. While they keep talking, bro, I gotta stop. Another soy boy made a video about you, bro. Chat, this is what I'm saying. The commentary soy boy channels are gonna keep on crying. They're gonna keep on making the same video we've seen over and over again. We got another one that just dropped an hour ago. Give me your energy. Yeah. I'm high off your energy. And I'm never gonna say their names. You see in the donos right now, HC, you saying the soy boy made a video about you, bro. Let him keep chatting. Let him keep chatting when we turn up and have fun. While we live stream because they're too low energy, they're too slow, they're too like giving up on life to actually live stream. They don't got the energy for it. Trippy says, W documentary, watch the 3-hour one. Congrats on the Miami spot. Appreciate you, bro. It's on my Patreon for the extended version. Shout out to Trappy. Trappy, I think I've seen you in the Discord before. He saw the 3-hour version. The edited up version, yo, thank you, Flame, is on my main channel. Chat, WL in the documentary. I didn't see it. I mean, I didn't see the chat. I saw the shit. I saw this shit. Bro, we all know we're doing this for a bag. Bro, if I was doing this for a bag, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? What you're supposed to do for a bag is make a Sword Boy reaction commentary channel and say the same shit that everybody else is saying, and you'll never get banned. Bro, I don't get any sponsors. I've never been on trending. I have a strike on my channel. Everybody wants to get me deleted. I have the lowest CPM of anybody I talk to. Chat, can we spam some fucking L's for people thinking I'm selling out? Because if I was selling out, I would not be talking about the shit that I'm about to talk about today. We're getting deep into the conspiracies today. We're getting deep into the truth today in Minecraft. L, exactly, bro. You know damn well I ain't sell out. If I sold out, I'd be making the videos about the same shit that you know. The reason you're in my live stream is that they cannot compete with this energy. They too slow, they're too boring, they're not as funny. It is what it is. Check, give me 20 push-ups right now so you don't end up like a fucking lame-ass sword boy. Ready? Ugh. SNEAKO in the chat, bro. I gotta gain some weight. I'm like 160. 6'3", 160, that's crazy. Me Canyon made me look dumb small. Give me 20. Soy boy, fuck. My chest is sore. Bro, yeah, I've been doing a lot of push-ups on the stream. I ain't gonna lie, I'm feeling sore. W4. How many was that? Let's go. Where's my speaker? Where's my speaker? Chat, where's my speaker? I don't give a fuck. I don't need no speaker. Alright, welcome to the fucking show. W form? That was good, right? Alright, bet. Sorry for that. Pause. Wait. Okay, cool. Who? Behind you? Shut up. Wait, what? Tristan stream on Thursday, chat. Can you tell him for everybody's question every time someone's in here? Tristan got his face fucked up. He's coming on Thursday. He's coming on Thursday. But you're writing a long ass paragraph for $10, but they appreciate you, below fee. Okay, let's get into this shit. Let's get into it. All right. Okay. Chad, we got into the soy boy. Another soy boy and a spliff. Give me more energy. They can't help themselves from talking about me. It's a fucking 57-minute long video. Chat, do we need to watch this, or do we already know what he's gonna say? Do you already know what he's gonna say? Is it the same shit as this one? And the same shit as this one? And the same shit as all the Lasanabi ones? Bro, nobody wants to sit through this. And for the dude, chat, we can't say their names because that's all they really want. They can't keep my name out of their title. I'm lit right now. And this shit's gonna go up and they're gonna be so tight. I remember this fucking soy boy. I remember this one right here. That he looks like fucking Bob's Burgers. We can click around in the video. I remember him. And I'm telling you, when you get into a call with these like low energy soy boys, it's so predictable because you can roast the fuck out of them. You could debunk them. I remember talking to him in a panel with Keemstar like a month back when I was in Puerto Rico. Made him look dumb. He told me he was making a reaction video. I didn't know who he was. He was like, oh, you do Lee all the time. The dude is obsessed with my shit. If you made a 57-minute video about me, looking like the rest of them, we know what the fuck you said, chat. Can we just predict it right now? And I know he's watching. I know what you said. You said I'm a misogynist. You said that anti-Semitic. You talked about the swinger party that I went to a year ago. You ain't talking about the open relationship that's open on my part and close to my girl. You know, I really be like exercising it to that level. But I can get hoes. And you can't. I remember getting in a call with him and I'm like, yo, respectfully, you get any pussy? And he's like, well, I love my girlfriend. Okay. Then leave it at that. You got roasted in a live stream, made you look dumb, and now you have to make it an hour-long video with my name in the title. Just like this soy boy. YouTube should ban SNEAKO. We're splitting to SNEAKO. And they're so afraid of a live stream. Because this soy boy, the same looking one, it's always a fucking like just a sad looking dude from LA. Saying the same shit. So let's click around. Let me guess. Fake alpha male, swinger party, misogynist, and trigger warning. I don't think he'd go that far to put him in the bio. I already have his Instagram up, but let me see. But yeah, bro, you look like Bob's Burgers. Like, it's just no one in my chat really cares about you. Your chat, your comment section, because you can't even do a chat. You're too slow to do a live stream. Your comment section's in there coping, probably saying, I can't believe it's disgusting that anyone would like him. You gotta stop how do people even like this content? You're a hero for making this. That's what the fuck your comment section is. But none of my chat wants to watch you. You're boring, you're slow. Bottom line, like, if you like debunk my logical, whatever the fuck. Let's watch a little bit. Oh, trigger warning. Is this shit on? Chat, be careful. I don't want you to get triggered. I'm glad he put that. Why are you dressed like this? You can hear everything? Turn this shit on, man.
Hello, my child.
Oh, hello, your child. Weird. You look like a bagel. Yo, homie look like a cult leader. You look like a guy knocking at your door to some version of Christianity that nobody wants to join. You look like you're gonna sell me a book in a park.
Have you been sinning recently?
Okay, I don't want to hear your bad material. But you got roasted in a live stream, and I remember you told me that's how I remember you Bob's Burgers looking ass. You do like look and you're shaped like a bagel, and so I could debunk. Oh, there we go. You could scrub the bottom. I don't want to watch this. You see, there we go. We got the podcast where I talked about going to a swinger party and not liking it because I wanted an open relationship. And so I felt guilty, and I went to a swinger party to go see if it could be fair for both sides, and I realized it wasn't. Every single one of them brings that up. And what else? Hasty generalization, hypocrisy. Look how much research he does. Look at that. He's got clips from my stream.
Stop trying to...
This dude does extensive research. They all do. They're fans, but they don't know how to be fans because I trigger them. And so because I go against their entire ideology, they need to make a reaction video debunking me or whatever because they can't accept the fact that I'm right. And you want to know how I'm right? I could probably find it on Instagram. Okay, look how many clips you got of my stream, bro. Fans. I've never watched your content. I'm never going to. I'm never going to say your name. And you're borderline obsessed, bro. Look how many...
SNEAKO's bed in the background of his videos?
Oh. Bro, you're looking at the bed in the background of my videos. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Another one in a spliff, chat. Another one in a spliff. Let me go to his Instagram and tell you why he needs... Without watching it, tell you why he needs to hate me. Look at that. Look at you now. This is you today.
A month off of social media because being exposed
this is chat.
Bomboka!
Oh no.
as an abuser was very difficult on my mental health. My purpose is to create, inspire, and abuse.
Oh no. Chat, don't say I'm afraid. I've already talked to him on a live stream. I've already had a debate with him. The guy looked dumb. And, I mean, look here. Oh, no.
God is the one who gave me this purpose. So...
Oh. Free Willy. Yikes. You scroll back a couple of years, bro. What happened? Look at that.
This is my 9-month weight loss update. I am currently at 197
What happened?
pounds. I started
That's why you don't like me. Oh, that's why you're obsessed with me. That's why you've seen all of my live streams. I'll never watch yours.
at 222.
But you're triggered by it. I mean, really, like, look at that. What year is this? This is 118 weeks ago? That's 2 years ago? Go back even further, like, you don't... Okay, well. All right, you got a lot of pics up, man. Here's a girl. All right. Okay, let me not be disrespectful. God wouldn't want me to go and make fun of a man's wife.
I have a real girlfriend. She's from Australia.
Yeah, okay. You get the point, right? Don't say I'm afraid of watching it. I just don't want to watch an hour of him talk about me. They say the same stuff in every single video. Or you want me to go back? Let me hear it. Okay.
A big stuffed teddy bear. On social programming.
All right, let's see hasty generalization.
Next, we'll look at the fallacy of hasty generalization, which is drawing a conclusion based on a small sample size rather than looking at statistics that are much more in line with the typical or average situation. SNEAKO will regularly make judgments about women that are based in his own
You regularly watch my videos, man.
anecdotal experiences rather than being based in reality. For example, one
Chad, you already bored? But you gotta get a new haircut, man.
justification SNEAKO gives for why he thinks feminism is bad is because it makes every single girl in the West believe in astrology.
Where do you hear all this feminist stuff?
Every day from every single girl. Astrology,
like
every
online?
single girl in the West believes in bullshit-ass astrology. Every single one.
However, in reality, only 30% of women in America believe in astrology, and
all right. Well, actually, you made a broad statement that's not statistically accurate. All the okay.
25% of men in America
Humpty Dumpty
believe in astrology. Only 5% more women believe in astrology.
You realize that there's language sometimes when you say, like, all these girls believe this. I haven't met every single one. You didn't debunk shit. You get what I was saying. You understand the point that I'm making, that most girls believe in astrology. Well, actually, this study shows that I put on a suit. Okay. This is why, like, 57 minutes of this, bro. Look, and I'm not scared. I already talked in a live stream. Okay, just look at this. Look at the side. Ad hominem, appeal to nature, identity fallacy, poison. Bro, wow. I'm telling you, these commentary channels are obsessed, and it just gives me more energy. This is why you don't like. Look at you, bro. Oh, and look at who he's best friends with. Oh, YouTube should ban SNEAKO. I'm still here. I'm still here. So chat, as long as we out here, as long as we exist, they gonna keep being mad. We gonna run laps around them. It is what it is, man. Look who it is. Ah. Fellowship. God, bro, I don't wanna. Why you look like that? You get the point, right? Can we move on? Same as this. Same as all of them. Just, of course. This is what I mean by predictable. This is why we don't need to watch the video. We know what he said. They just want me banned. I get them tight. I don't care about them. Move on. All right? Clip done. Thanks for the reaction video. Bye. Okay. All right, let's watch something like actually good. I want to watch, bro, I didn't know that Tate and Alex Jones did the two most canceled men in the world, but Donald Trump could join this call. The two most canceled men in the world did a podcast together. I want to watch this. But first, let's react to a soy boy that's actually beneficial to react to. And let me break down why I react to Lasanabi. Lasanabi, because, you know, it is what it is, bro. You got more clout. So it's not beneficial for me to respond to another predictable soy boy that wants me banned because, you know, my second channel is lapping their main channel. So it's better to react to Lasanabi because he's at the top of the food chain of all the soy boys who say the exact same thing. So it all trickles down from Lasanabi. Instead of watching another one of the same exact videos, we're going to react to him. Because on some clout shit, that's the most beneficial for me too. Someone put this in my Discord. My Discord is where all my reaction videos go. Hassan is unironically stupid and should quit politics.
Bruh. Hassan is the biggest political streamer on Twitch.
America deserved 9/11, dude. We fucking totally brought it on ourselves, dude. Holy shit.
He's a
dude, literally, dude.
Bomboka.
All of them trickled down from that. Literally, dude, 9/11 was deserved by America, dude. Like, dude, that's like problematic and toxic and disgusting, dude. So let's just react to him. That's better.
socialist who routinely criticizes the rich while spending money on extravagant luxuries of his own.
La, 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 wait till I get my money.
Eat the rich, right?
Right.
He owns a $200,000 luxury Porsche, living in a $3 million luxury home. Hassan
Socialist role, right?
often relies on using other people's content to entertain his viewers, either when he's too tired to entertain, or he's cooking, or eating. When people confront him or offer solutions on how to go about in the future, like pausing the video when he's not there, or giving proper credit to the creator while reacting, he dismisses it, using over-the-top exaggerations to make the concession seem unreasonable.
Dude, what am I supposed to do? Die? Like, I don't understand.
Yes, die. That is
wow.
Clearly what that comment is demanding of you. But when people clip him using his content in a way he doesn't like, he threatens to strike them.
Why are they clipping me then? Like, if my own fucking clip channels are clipping all of my videos to make money, why are you fucking clipping wrong information then?
Dude, literally, dude, why, dude?
If that's the case, then fuck you, dude.
Dude, fuck you, dude.
Make me DMCA your bitch asses.
Everything I said about Biden is true, you fucking idiot.
Hey, Westiny in the chat. Yeah, what the funniest part is, Destiny's the only liberal capable of debate, capable of conversation without getting triggered. Every single one is Run Ricky running. Afraid. Like the first Soul Boy that just made this video. I didn't know who he was. And he told me back then, a month ago, he was working on there we go. There's 2 months of work in this video right here. I get in a call and you look dumb. The only leftist, and that's why he's my friend now. I would consider Destiny a friend. The only one who's capable is him. They used to be friends, you know that? These two used to be friends. And Lasanabi's scared. He is scared of Destiny now because he actually makes some good points. I gotta give it to him. The one blue pill liberal who's capable of discussion. I'm gonna let him have that. He's made me look, the first debate, I ain't gonna cap. I looked a little dumb. Second one, you gave me the W. I ain't gonna forget that. The first one, I wasn't prepared. Dude's a master debater. He had that one. I was impressed. He didn't change my mind. The dude trusts the government. Low-key might be a Fed hired by Hillary Clinton, but at least he can talk. The rest of them are so deep into their feelings they don't know how to. And he is triggered. Lasanabi is triggered. He'll ignore this. He'll react to so many other things. He'll react to every single part that every single other sword boy is saying, but he will ignore the fact that he's Run Ricky running from Destiny.
It's always you think black people.
What a fucking liar, dude.
When I compared the quartering to Hassan,
Dude, like, literally, dude, what the fuck, dude?
wasn't exaggerating. They're both people that will pander to their team at all costs. Two sides of the same coin. It's like looking into a mirror. Seriously, you should do it. You need to.
I'm a big guy. I get sweaty. You know, you get that crotch rot.
Well, don't stress, Jeremy. I have the solution for you. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service, and just like... Not sure what you're looking for. They have this amazing. Thank you, Scentbird, for
Shut up.
We gotta find.
Hassan is a political streamer, the most popular by far. And look, I'm not someone who claims to be very knowledgeable about politics, but even to me, it seems like he has some pretty crazy takes.
What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Didn't he go to...
Dude, 9/11 should have happened, dude.
war and like literally lose his eye because some mujahideen, a brave fucking soldier, fucked his eye hole with their dick? Isn't that how he lost his fucking dumbass eye? Because he got his fucking eye hole fucked by a brave soldier?
Yeah, Hassan sounds like a very reasonable guy, somebody I definitely would want to run the world.
That's number one, like, this, one of the things that I dislike the most about liberals is the fact that they can so comfortably sit behind a computer screen and disrespect people who have fought to defend the country. Whether or not you support the war, like if the politics aside, they put their life on the line for you to go disrespect them in a camera. Pussy.
His pitch for a more civilized utopia sounds amazing.
I am an advocate, and I am of the mindset that civilized countries allow its citizens to fucking brawl with cops.
Yes, this sounds very civilized.
The only countries outside of the United States where people can't fucking brawl with cops are dictatorships.
What? All right, brawl with me then. Chat, you know, like one more time, that's why I got suspended on Twitter. I challenged him to a boxing match. I said, I'm gonna break your face even though you weigh 230 and I weigh 160. I could fuck you up. In Minecraft, hypothetically, because no violent conduct. That's why I got suspended. So this dude will run around and say, all cops are bastards. You should be able to go brawl with cops. And then you can't even get in a boxing match. And when Sam Hyde challenges him to a fight, literally, dude, talking about violence on the internet, dude, that's kind of problematic, dude. Pussy.
I think it shows that it is a civilized country if citizens have the same level of rights and protection under whatever constitution they believe in, where, you know, they can fucking brawl with cops.
Can you really just brawl with cops in the UK and Canada? That sounds unlikely to me. If you can't already tell, Hassan likes to take some polarizing stances on things, where he will talk about his opinion as if it is the only acceptable take. This gets him into some sticky situations at times.
And if you think like that, you should openly have debates on a regular basis, which I do. I know I talk crazy on a stream. I know I got a lot of wild, controversial beliefs, but I regularly talk to people who disagree with me. I am willing to put my ideologies on the line. That's why I talk to Destiny so often. He's the polar opposite of me, and that's why we get along. Because we can disagree, we can have confrontation, and not get triggered, dude. If you are so set on your beliefs, then you should be willing to argue them. but guys like Lasanabi aren't. Why?
When US intelligence said that Russia's invasion of the Ukraine was imminent, Hassan was skeptical.
What's up, folks? I'm live and alive, and we got a lot to talk about. I was right about Ukraine. That's right. War is not imminent. Oh, shocked. Shocked to find out. Anyway, we're going to talk about that and a bunch of other stuff, so get in now.
But honestly, saying Hassan was skeptical is completely underselling his verbiage. You would have thought he had his own intelligence agency feeding him information with how confident he sounded.
I think maybe I'll tell my editors to do this, but I think I'll just change I'll change this every day to Ukraine has still not been invaded by Russia every day. Change it to Russia still has yet to invade Ukraine. And it's like day 11 at this point, you know what I mean?
He says that like it means something. What, is he complaining that they're late? Guys, it's been 11 days. What more proof do we need? They'll never invade. 11 days? Too long. He was posting J-Station memes, making fun of people who were worried about imminent war, and when Russia finally did it, making his coverage look utterly ridiculous, you'd think he'd apologize for going about things so arrogantly. And to be fair, he kind of did. The video was titled, "I was wrong about Ukraine." So does he actually admit that he got stuff wrong? Yeah, I mean, he's got little choice, but in the same video, he simultaneously continues to make claims about the conflict that he has no way of knowing about, and ultimately would be proven wrong again.
The reason why I'm saying a lot of the information that's coming out of the State Department is wrong or outright false is because what I'm showing you right now is literally fucking
dude.
People talking about like bombing Kiev. Okay, their take was Ukraine is going to be invaded, Kiev is going to be invaded by Russia. That is insane. That's psychotic.
So in his apology video for his arrogant and baseless predictions on Ukraine, Hassan makes more arrogant and baseless predictions on Ukraine. Only Hassan, dude. He's also taken weird stances like condemning his chat for comparing Putin to Hitler.
You feeling bad about the Crimean annexation does not change the reality of the Crimean annexation being a completely justifiable fucking act by the Russian government, okay? So that's it. That's fine. And Hitler invaded countries based on Germanic ties at first? Yeah, dude. Talk to me when he's fucking throwing Ukrainians in a fucking... What are you talking about? Talk to me when he's throwing Ukrainians at a concentration camp, okay? Hitler wasn't fucking bad because he decided to invade Austria. He was bad because he was fucking killing Jews, okay? That was the problem. He wasn't like, oh yeah, we're gonna fucking annex territory with like Germanic people in it. That wasn't the main problem with Hitler, I think.
Who says this? He seems more passionate about this than the actual invasion.
That wasn't the main problem with Hitler, I think. That was like maybe 8th down the line.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up.
I made out with so many girls. Made out with every girl in the world.
If you can't tell, Hassan is very stubborn. He likes to argue, so he often gets caught up on weird, seemingly insignificant things. You see, cracker is a really important word to Hassan. He spent an awkward amount of time trying to explain why it's a cool word to use.
Slur cracker is not a slur. Cracker is not a slur. Cracker is not a slur. Sussy.
Is it? Is it not?
It's not.
It's not?
No, it's woke and cool because that's what Twitter told me, even though I'm literally a white dude. Dude.
No, of course not. Cracker is...
The way you said it so loud.
Cracker is, has, even in its etymology, it's something I've talked about so much.
It's 100% a slur, but it's just okay to say it because the woke mob is able to hate on white people openly, and it's fun, it's cool, it's quirky. It's part of the, ooh yeah, white people are bad, literally bad. So people like him, even though they're white, feel comfortable saying that. People like him comfortably say, 9/11 was deserved, dude. But try to get him to say the N-word.
Many times too, because
say it, Hasadavi. Say it, Lasadavi. Say the N-word one time. I give you permission. I'm a quarter black. You could say the first half. Someone else black in the chat. Give him permission to say the other half.
It's like white boys love fucking saying like cracker is the same as the N-word. Cracker is the same as the N-word, right? It's really stupid. It's not.
Look at Pokemon cringing in the back.
Like the etymology of the word is different. Like cracker means literally whip cracker. It comes from whip cracker. So the power still is in the hands of the white person in that situation.
What a weird way to justify a slur, because the power 400 years ago.
It's true. Us white people, we love being called crackers. I feel completely empowered by it.
No, what white person likes being called a slave master? What are you talking about?
Jokes aside, Hassan would use the word in a way at times that could be interpreted as hateful.
Did I say oh my God, saltine cracker. Like people are just bitter because it's saltine cracker. That's not what I said. You dumb cracker bitch.
I don't give a shit
Oh my lord.
if he calls people crackers. I just think his logic is hilariously bad. This tweet of his is one of my all-time favorites. Absolutely insane. Twitch banned 2 of my mods for using the word cracker. One is black and the other one is brown. Does Twitch actually believe cracker is a slur?
How is it not a slur?
What is the logic behind pointing out that they're black and brown? I feel like that makes it worse. Like if they were 2 white guys, I get it. That makes more sense. But this, it would make more sense.
Makes it more of a slur because they're not ironically using it. They're using it as an insult.
To bring up their race at all. He went through this phase where he tried to act like all these creators agreed with him on it when they clearly didn't.
What do you think about the word cracker?
The what?
The word cracker.
What do I think about the word cracker?
2 of my mods got banned for saying cracker yesterday in a sequence of like 3 minutes.
This fucking guy. I don't use it personally.
He's like, this fucking guy.
Personally.
Oh.
I'd rather describe people with things that aren't just broad strokes.
Literally, dude, why don't you hate white people with me, dude? I'm one of the good ones.
Derogatory terms based off the color of their skin.
Pokemon had to bait him into talking about something else because he was getting so riled up about it.
I've been a sub to Hassan for more than 2 years, but it's about time the community's bubble got popped. The whole you can't be racist towards X group argument isn't perceived well in the real world where we actually live in the struggle. Bro.
Have you seen this one video on YouTube?
No.
Can we talk about something a little bit lighthearted? That's not racial slurs because I need to keep my image clean and you're kind of making me feel uncomfortable. Why are you getting so heated about a racial slur and trying to justify it?
This person
No,
has literally never been around black people.
Literally, dude. Black people, dude.
Good video. I promise you.
Here's a person who does not have a single black or brown friend.
Bro, he has 1 black mod, 1 brown mod, and now he's like, dude, literally I speak for all minorities when I say that cracker's a good word, dude.
Okay, what is it?
What Hassan did right there is how he dismisses every argument that disagrees with him. He exaggerates, refuses to actually...
Okay, Lasan's not even white, he's Turkish. Yeah, kind of just look at him. What, did he denounce Islam and lives in LA? Wears the Harry Potter goggles and has a white guy haircut and looks white and is wearing a fucking white guy shirt. Dude's white. Dude's white. You could be a white Turk, right? You could be white and from Turkey. Why is Turkey not... They could have white people. Fuck out of here.
Engage in the conversation and usually just shoves words in the other person's mouth.
Here's a person who does not have a single black or brown friend.
You dumb cracker bitch. What are you talking about? Talk to me when he's throwing Ukrainians at a concentration camp, okay?
I don't think he's ever engaged in a good faith argument. He's perfect for politics.
On the bong and the dope, I'm on this bong. It's just too, oh no, he's not white, he's Turk. It's just like, okay, like you could put Greeks or like, he's not white, he's Italian. If you get all the white privilege, if you talk like, literally, dude, you're white. You're white. Stop saying cracker. I'm smoking that Viacon.
I've already touched on Hassan's lack of understanding when it comes to copyright. He will play other people's videos on stream when he's not even in the room. He does this so often, people are able to make 45-minute compilations of his chair, or him just eating, not transforming the video at all. He usually won't even provide proper credit for the video. His excuses are laughable.
I don't know.
This happened to me. This was the first time that I heard about Lasanabi. This was back before I was streaming. And also, I just dropped my documentary on my main channel. Don't think I just do reaction content too. The documentary's fire. It's a whole movie. They're not gonna react to that though. But I made this video called How to View Women, and I saw Lasanabi eating and going, dude, this is like an incel, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck? You added nothing. You weren't even funny. You didn't add a joke. You're not gonna clip this up. You just wanted to yell at your 40,000 people and have nothing to add. At least when I do reactions, I am doing a YouTube video every single reaction. So I feel the need and the pressure to have to do something. This dude is just literally, dude, I hate this. This is bad. I'm like, this is streaming? I could do this. I'm way better at this.
Maybe because I'm live for fucking 8 hours. And sometimes...
This is why you shouldn't be live for 8 hours. This is why you should take breaks from streaming. I stream in seasons. I stream for like 3 to 5 hours because if you're just chronically doing this, literally, dude, I don't even want to debate, dude. I'm just going to react to stuff and avoid people who get me triggered. It becomes an echo chamber. And that's how you get the Twitter low-level hidden reply people, K-pop fans, people who go, not the cracker, it's the cracker for me. That's your audience. That's how you attract it. Sitting there, coping, getting slowly fatter. People like this probably watch Lasanabi. This is the target demo. Ready?
I decided to take a month off of social media because being exposed as...
This is your target demo. Like people who feel comfortable posting this even in
An
satire.
abuser was very
Oh, bro.
difficult on my mental health. My purpose is to create,
People who don't get sunlight.
inspire, fire, and abuse.
This is not something I found. I just went to this dude's Instagram.
God is the one who gave me this purpose. So if you want someone
Please don't use the Lord's name in vain, man.
to blame, blame God. I preach.
Oof. Oof.
Bomboka!
Yeah. 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 Sorry for putting that on the screen for so long. What are we talking about? I just got distracted.
I'm not literally in front of the camera while the fucking video's playing.
And when people like JXE give honest arguments for why they think that's wrong, Hassan, in usual fashion, will be quick to dismiss the point entirely, using some of the most brain-dead logic I've ever heard.
On him, how is it any different than him just watching a YouTube video off stream? It just rubs me the wrong way. Like, how do you think of your viewers to just stream your break? Dude, what am I supposed to do? Die? Like, I don't understand.
This is Hassan.
This is why you can't debate. Like, what do you, like, want me to, like, put a trigger warning and die because you disagree with me? That's why people get so surprised, and I'm so surprised I see that. Destiny was even in my documentary, and so many of the comments when I talked to Destiny, Lasan's top op, people are like, oh, it's good that people can have different opinions and still be friends. It's more fun to have people who disagree with you. It's more fun to have people who don't line up equally, because then you have someone to talk about. There's some back and forth. If you're just around people who think exactly the same way, doesn't it get boring? That's what I never understood about the internet and why they're so surprised that I could talk to Destiny, or like my friends in real life are all way different than me. I have Islamic friends, I have Christian friends. I was an atheist for a long time, and I talk about how like evolution is real. I would talk about all this stuff about how science, and I was really obsessed with that. But my closest friends were religious because I like the back and forth. I like the debate. If you just have somebody who agrees with you all the time, what the fuck you got to talk about? But everyone on the internet, that for some reason they think that disagreeing is like, you want me to die? Get off the internet. Get off for some time, bro. Go outside. Or else you don't even know how to have confrontation on a level of politics? You gonna cancel your friends over politics? Grow up.
Doesn't matter if it's a serious issue like Ukraine or a simple complaint about how he reacts to videos. He will always dumb down his critics' arguments to such a laughable level where it's hard to tell if he's being dishonest or if he's actually just that stupid.
You could leave a sign saying gone for a dump, back in 5, or could just give credit where it's due and actually react while he's in the room. Doesn't seem like a lot to ask. These motherfuckers are like, dude, peanut bottle, dude.
Dude, literally, dude.
No, you fucking
white guy. That's what I'm saying. But look at that haircut, too. You gonna tell me that's not a white guy haircut? You know, minorities in the chat, you gonna tell me, you really gonna try to say that this is a POC? I hate that word, a POC? You gonna say that this is a POC? This dude looks like he's at a Mayflower dance, like an April May shower thing for British kids. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy, ashes. That's you. You look like you're dressed up for Sunday church. By Nancy the maid. Oh, come on, Lasan. Let's go to church. No, mommy. I want to ride on the pony. No, mommy. Mommy, Lasan cannot debate destiny. Oi, mommy, have a bath. Mommy, I want a bath, dude. Literally, dude. Dude, mommy, dude. I want a bath. You gonna say this is a POC? Fuck out of here. This ain't no person of color. Oh, he's Turkish. Shut the fuck up.
Allahu Akbar!
Didn't he famously denounce Islam? Look at that. You are really going to sit here and call this a minority. Mommy! Anything from the trolley? Sorry, okay.
Glue eater? Just pause the video till you get back from the bathroom. Engage with it. Give proper credit. This stuff is so simple. When Hassan makes false equivalencies, sometimes people in his chat call him out for it. Even when he reads it though, he doesn't engage. He just chooses to ignore them then.
I'm right and you're wrong. Okay? I'm right and you're wrong if you don't recognize that. Now, is there a difference between playing a video game on stream and playing a TV show on stream?
Yes.
Not really, no. Yeah, but a video game's point is the interaction. Watching a video doesn't give that.
Great point. I wonder how Hassan will answer that.
Yeah, but a video game's point is the interaction. Watching a video doesn't give that.
Say
People have gotten
something.
clapped for game streaming before.
He doesn't. He chooses to ignore it and read another chat message. Here's the best part. When people start infringing on Hassan's copyright in a way that he no longer likes, then it's all cool to strike people.
Yeah, I've been noticing it's been hella toxic. Even clip channels are being annoying and commenting in the description on how you're wrong. Why are they clipping me then? Like, if my own fucking clip channels are clipping all of my videos to make money, why are you fucking clipping wrong information then?
Because you look like an ass. It shows how much shit you spew out of your mouth.
Then fuck you.
Okay, shout out to Willie Mac Show. This is a good video. But guys who make this type of shit, you gotta be a little bit... You gotta be kind of a fan to have this much evidence.
Dude, don't make me DMCA your bitch asses. Motherfuckers are literally posting my YouTube videos.
This is streamer talk right now. People are afraid of fights. Don't let me DMCA your bitch asses. Yeah, okay, but then... I'm going to kill you and put on your skin and wear it as a suit like the old Irish did. Lasan, I'm coming to kill you. I'm gonna DMCA your bitch ass. Get off the internet sometimes.
From my fucking Twitch, stealing this shit because I allow them to so they can make money off of it just to make me look fucking bad or shit on me? What the fuck is this? Send me all the videos. Okay, send me all the fucking videos of the Hasanabi Clips Industrial Complex talking shit, and I will fucking destroy them. I will purge them.
Crazy how he's all for getting rid of copyright laws until it starts affecting him negatively. Fucking classic.
But she's so nice, but she's so nice, but she's so nice.
Nicholas DiOrio has been making a full-fledged documentary breaking down Hassan's career, and when I told him I was making my video, he specifically sent me these clips to use.
So I'm not going to, for instance, I'll use Hassan as an example. I'm not going to talk to a black person like Trihex and say, hey, the N-word, it's always black. What do you think black people...
What a fucking liar, dude. What a
What a fucking liar, dude.
Fucking Weasley little liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude. Holy shit.
Dude, this is what I'm saying. Blueprint white guy talk. When white guys get tight, dude, it goes from dude to dude. Nah, dude, what the frick, dude? Bro, I'm literally, dude, I'm gonna DMCA your bitch ass, dude. Dude, stop it, dude. Literally, dude, I'm getting mad. Mom! Dude, Mom! Destiny hurt my feelings, dude, Mom! Can you give me a Mountain Dew? Dude, I want a Mountain Dew! Dude, give me a Mountain Dew! Mom! Fuck you, Mom! Mom, I'm playing Call Mom!
Shit, dude. Holy fucking shit, dude.
Even when he...
Dude. Okay.
Just playing a game, he'll get so mad he'll just freak out, start punching his couch in his underwear.
No, that's funny though. This is a good content. Top tier
This
content.
inspires me. I want to make him this angry. His cringe has been documented on Reddit and YouTube for years. The man's a self-proclaimed socialist that takes 100% of the profit from the labor of others, whether it's stealing videos for downtime on his streams, or not paying editors who are uploading content on his YouTube channel. The dude's dishonest in conversations, acts in bad faith, he refuses to engage with anyone who shares a different opinion. He is the quartering, except instead of wanting to fuck cartoons, he acts like an expert in whatever political topic is trending that day. He is Hassan Piker. That will be it for today, comrades. Thank you for watching. Shout out to Nicholas DiOrio for helping me out this video. And of course,
man, he's got some, one thing we got in common, bro, we got some dedicated ass commentary channels trying to clip up and ruin our careers. Dude, stop making a reaction video, dude. Okay, enough. All right, Daz Black exposed. Chad, you've been spamming that for a minute. What the hell happened? Uh-oh. Is there going to be some P-word allegations? It came out today? Or is it some old shit? I don't even see nothing. What's the vid called? I don't see nothing. What'd he do? He Tweedledeed some Tweedledums? He Tweedledeed some Tweedledums, huh? He looks like it. Watch the short.
Last week, I was falsely accused of grooming a child across YouTube and TikTok. These channels have used DMs and photographs to further booster these allegations. These allegations are completely untrue, and I'm here to give you the facts. The girl who sent these DMs has said that we met she was 13 and then again when she was 19. The picture you're seeing on screen now is the picture she has identified as when I met her when she was 13. This was a fan meet and greet at Comic-Con 2016. As you can see in these pictures,
until it's proven, I don't really want to talk about this and put more heavy dirt on somebody's name that doesn't, like, if I don't know this is true, this is some heavy stuff to accuse somebody for. It's on his channel, though.
How's...
No, just, okay. It was funny, you know, he just looks just like... Hey!
I decided to take a month off of social media.
Is that...
Relationships should never be based on trust, because...
Okay, yeah, enough of them. They're just, okay, yeah. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to look at you. Jack, can we watch this now? Can we watch Alex Tate? Alex Tate, fuck. Can we watch Andrew Tate and Alex Jones? This is on Alex Jones' website. Shout out to Alex Jones. One of the original G's who stayed true to his word. One of the most canceled men on the platform. It is cool to see them collabing together. I did not expect this collab. I've been shouting him out on a regular basis. I've been shouting out... I was about to say Alex Tate. I've been shouting out Alex Jones, Andrew Tate, and Donald Trump for a while. Donald Trump, I don't agree with everything, but I support people who are canceled because I know that if they try to silence you, you are saying a modicum of truth in a world full of lies. If they censor it, it's true. Alex Jones has been trying to get to the truth for a long time. I've liked his documentaries. I like the way he talks. I like the way he really tries to uncover and get past all the lies that's in the mainstream media. And he's doing it really all by himself. He's been able to trigger mainstream news so much for like 20 years. It's commendable. Even though he's messed up sometimes, I really admire Alex Jones. He's one of the people who really inspired me to start getting into this in the first place. The frogs are gay. Yeah, I love... Entertaining as fuck, too. Entertaining. I love conspiracy theorists, man.
Been a very interesting few years, and we've seen what happens when people don't have a voice and don't stand up and try and repel against these systems. I really do think that the acts that have happened across these last few years in the name of trying to save lives for COVID have been genuinely criminal. And I don't think they would have tested this kind of system or tested this kind of censorship and repression to just stop it and go back to normal.
And chat reminder, we got Tristan Tate coming on Thursday. Tristan Tate's coming on Thursday. Get your questions ready. It's going to be a good interview. He had to cancel today because his mouth is fucked up from getting in a fight. His tooth is messed up, bro. It looks really fucked up. I don't know if he wants me to show the selfie, but I hope he gets better. He's in pain right now. But back to video.
I think it was a test of a system, and they intend on coming in harder than ever before with some new story and some new excuse later on down the line. And it gets to a point where you finally have to stand up and realize that you cannot run from what is going to come to you. You cannot escape it. You cannot hide. You cannot deny it. You get to a point where you understand you need to find people who are like-minded and stand up. And the best way you can stand up at this current point in time is just to educate others and just to highlight the injustices which are being purported by these systems. My banning was absolutely and utterly unjust. I never broke any terms of service. They know that. The whole world knows that now. And the public sentiment is on my side. And the more people talk about this and the more people discuss this and tell others and educate others, the harder it's going to be for them to keep this curtain, this iron curtain of theirs, over the truth. Because that's all they truly want to do. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Everyone knows this saying, and it's completely and utterly true. And we're now in a situation where they have absolute power. But I do believe that we're moving to a transitional period, a transitional place, and you've been a massive leader in that force. And even now, as much as they say you're banned, anybody who types your name into a lot of these Matrix-led platforms can still find videos of you. So they can't completely and utterly shut you up because people want to listen to what you have to say. People want to hear you. And it's for that reason that they fear you, because they try and take men like us, delete us, and replace us with these talking heads. But humans have an instinct, and that instinct allows us to feel affinity with somebody. They can hear your voice or mine and know they want to hear what we have to say because they know we have character and we're integral and we have morals. These talking heads don't have any of that.
Chad, what do you think about the fact that I got suspended on Twitter? I have 2 guideline strikes on my channel for COVID and election misinformation. I have people actively trying to ban me, the talking heads that he's talking about, who are not capable of speaking like this, who need to have a soundtrack, who need to edit up and make a video for 2 months, clipping up and taking different segments and crafting together a video essay about why I'm problematic, misogynistic, and put trigger warnings and actively try to silence me. In a way, it almost makes you feel like I'm doing something right. That people want me gone off the platform so bad that even the system is saying what I'm saying is misinformation. I'm like, I must be doing something right if they try to silence me that bad.
So when they put them there to read from the hymn sheet, it simply doesn't resonate with the youth of today. And that's how I managed to become the most Googled man on the planet, by just telling men the truth about the experience they're going through and the life they're going to live. It's a really interesting period of human time. And I've really been appreciative also of your support and the support of the other mainstream characters who stood up and said, listen, this has gone on long enough.
And I really like, Nick Fuentes made a good point that I reacted to yesterday. The worst thing that you could be in society is a bredophile, is a baby killer, is a God hater, somebody that doesn't care about any morals, people who celebrate demonic behavior, people who twerk on the devil in the name of entertainment. That's the worst thing you can be. People who are completely against any sort of morals. But what they've brainwashed you to believe is that the worst thing you could be is a racist, a misogynist, incel, problematic, toxic, which are just words that everybody like me gets labeled as, no matter what. I haven't done anything. I really haven't. Everything bad has been all me talking about it online. I'm so confident about talking about this stuff because they have nothing that they could uncover. Everything has been something that I've said. They got nothing. So all they have, all their ammunition is making up words and making up lies, putting up trigger warnings, trying to paint me as a bad misogynistic person, trying to paint me as a racist, as all of this nonsense that they call truth tellers. He's just playing a character. That's what society has made you believe is the worst thing you can be. When in reality, it's people touching kids, people killing babies. I'm not saying that racism isn't bad, but everybody's racist. Everybody has prejudice. Everybody's capable of saying something racist nowadays. Anybody can get labeled as that. It's like the witch hunt in the 1400s. They'd say, witch, if she was squirting or something like that. Witch! And then burn her at the stake. If you get called a racist once, if you get called a misogynist once, that's what you are. If you get labeled as that, people are so confused and they think that racism is so bad. It is. But from words, from ideas, from stereotypes, is that really the worst thing you could be? Yes, it's bad. My point is that anybody can get labeled as that, and you're being brainwashed to think that those are the worst people.
InfoWars. Tomorrow's news today.
Well, I'm known as the most controversial man in America, probably the world, except now somebody's giving me a really good run for my money. And he's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of Paul Watson. We've hung out. He's been on the show many times. He's hosted the show. He's Andrew Tate, the most searched individual in the last 6 months on the internet every single day. And he is just on fire with the young people with a really good, strong, pro-human message that completely threatens the power structure because they want us to be weak, they want us to be victims, and Andrew Tate is the opposite. But what really freaks people out is that their daughters are listening to Andrew Tate. I was having dinner a few days ago with another good friend of mine that's a well-known podcaster, and he brought up Andrew Tate, and he said, yeah, it's really crazy. My daughters are big fans, and those are high school daughters. So Andrew Tate has absolutely massively and had a gigantic effect. And the power structure is insanely scared of him. Now, if he was a bad guy and had this much influence and they didn't control him, they'd be coming after him. But he's a good guy with incredible pull, and that scares them to their very core. And that's why this hour-long interview, uncensored, is so critical. Andrew Tate being able to speak for him.
Was he talking about Joe Rogan? Was that the other podcaster whose teenage daughter's like listening to him?
Himself, because now he's become one of the most banned men in the world. There's only a few other people out there. Donald Trump is one of them. I'd say in the top 3 most banned people in the world, it's Andrew Tate, Alex Jones, and Donald Trump. That's why this interview is so incredibly important. We're in a club. It's a pretty elite club, and it's because we scare the establishment. Andrew Tate, great to have.
Hey, I'm almost gonna join chat. Hey, ban club, suspended on Twitter, into YouTube jail, election to COVID misinformation, man. No. I'm not getting banned. I'm staying on YouTube. I'm not even... Bro, I'm staying on YouTube.
Have you here, my friend?
Absolutely glad to be here, and that's a pretty good club to be part of. So I'm almost happy for the membership.
Where to start? The ban, what you're going through, what's unfolding, what's coming next. We're going to get into so much here today.
Yeah, it was the Matrix attacked me. I knew they always would. They attacked in a very clever manner. I received a strike on YouTube, which prevents you from posting for 7 days. After I
Hey, gang! Also, I hear the Skype. Alex Jones, get Discord.
Received the strike. Meta banned me, which is Instagram and Facebook. They banned me. I filmed a YouTube video to reply to the ban while I still had my YouTube account because they're pretending they're fair and that it all doesn't happen in sync. They allowed my YouTube account to survive for 4 more days, and then they banned my YouTube account. So the strike was given to me on purpose to make sure that I couldn't post my reply video directly after the first ban, and for them to pretend that there was some kind of degree of separation between the large Matrix attack.
They do it right in front of your face, chat, because they think we're stupid. How the fuck you get banned on every single platform, from Facebook, Instagram to LinkedIn, Uber, Airbnb, Stripe? If you don't know, Stripe is the payment processor. How do you not see the fact that all of these companies work together? Someone gave them the word, shut it down, and all the apps cancel them all at once. And not one of you who support these people getting banned could give me a valid reason why Andrew Tate was banned. Give me one reason. You don't know why. They just said, enough, switch. They do it right in front of your fucking face because they think you're stupid. And the reality is, most of you are. Most of you want to stay asleep.
I've been banned on basically every single platform, from Airbnb to Uber through to social media platforms, payment processors, absolutely everything. And you're completely right. I teach people and inspire people to think for themselves. And that makes you the enemy of the establishment because you are not allowed to think. You're only allowed to comply.
Let's walk through that, because before we started this interview today, you said the most important point is once they silence you, then they can tell whatever lies about you. You're not just put in the phantom zone. Now they can misrepresent who you are.
Absolutely. And that's the number one intention, right? Because when these large companies decide to ban somebody, they also monitor in real time public perception, social media comments and posts, and how people feel about their decision. So to make sure they don't look tyrannical, after they ban you, they used a media machine to lie about you and paint a narrative that you're the worst person in the world to try and convince the populace that your ban was actually a good thing so they can get away with their actions unscathed. The lies are a very, very important part of their plan. They're always pre-orchestrated, and they come in hard and fast and heavy across every single mainstream media outlet in real time. As soon as you've been banned, you can no longer defend yourself. You are defenseless.
And what you just said is so incredibly critical, and that's why they're scared of you. When they began their...
You see how like those biggest websites all lie? Can just the biggest mainstream news, this is what your grandma and your auntie watches. They're all just believing in lies.
Purge of InfoWars in August of 2018. Tim Cook later bragged that he met that Sunday night with the heads of the big 6 tech companies. That's how important the censorship is.
We think that what the user wants is someone that does review these apps, someone that does review the podcast, someone that on like Apple News.
You guys know that he's the CEO of Apple, right? And also he's
where a human is selecting the top stories.
But at what point were you like, okay, that's it, Alex Jones has to go?
I don't want to get into a singular kind of event, But I think there's enough there that reasonable people could agree that if you're going to curate, that should be off.
And it wasn't just about Alex Jones, it was about setting this precedent and how they first decided to have YouTube shut me down. First was the strike, so we couldn't respond. It's all very strategic. This is admitted, by the way. Cook's given interviews to Vice and you name it.
In terms of power, I've never felt like I had any power.
Then Facebook, Instagram, all of the major sites, over 60 of them, even LinkedIn, then banned me 2 days after the YouTube strike. And it was all very, very strategic. And this is a battle plan. And they now admit it's a battle plan, which they later used on Donald Trump as well. And now they're using against millions of not just Americans, but people all over the world. And we see the videos in Europe, in the UK, where the man criticizes transgenderism and puts up a transgender flag with a swastika on it, and they come and arrest the veteran at his home. So whatever you see being done to Andrew Tate and Alex Jones and Donald Trump today will end up being done to you. This is a blueprint where they pick out the alpha males that they see on the vanguard because they're really coming after everybody else.
Absolutely. That's the first thing they want to do. You're right. They destroy the people who can inspire resistance amongst the populace, and they need to control the narrative. These people who I call, I often use the popular movie as an easy way to characterize and explain my mindset. I call them the Matrix, and they are the Matrix because they purport a false version of reality for people to subscribe to so that they can be drained of their resource and use. And they literally paint a false reality. And the reason they're able to do that is because everyone who counters that reality, they attempt to delete in real time. They just did it with COVID. They convinced people that something was happening that literally wasn't even happening in real time. And the reason they managed to get away with it for so long is because every time you spoke up and told the truth and talked about what you see with your own eyes and hear with your own ears, you're silenced. They need to control the world.
They call it misinformation, chat. So you can't talk about this. Certain things they can't talk about anymore. But I always say, man, if they censor it, finish the sentence. If they censor it, it's what?
World and control how people think. And we are a threat to that.
And that's how the gaslighting works. Let's expand on that for people that don't know what it's like to be unpersoned. And this is a forte, or this is a first look at what's going to happen under the global social credit score they've set up. They came after your banking, your credit cards, your processing. Describe for people, not as a victim, as you've said, but as a warrior at the front of the fight, how the enemy's going to attack so people behind us in the fight know what's coming.
Yeah, first thing they want to do is they want to hurt your money. So they destroy your processing, your banking, anything that involves money. You're going to start being put under review or deleted and disabled in real time. Shortly after, you're right, the social media platforms ban you. First one bans you. The other ones usually wait a day or two, but they put in a strike so you cannot reply and use the platform. They put in
Right now, I'm not really fighting the whole matrix at the top. Most of my matrix fighting is against leftists who don't agree with me. So they tell their fans to mass report me. Leftists on Twitter are mass reporting my page. I'm not fighting the top people yet. I'm fighting the bots at the bottom who are triggered. They even did that for my creativity kit, my course. We have a call tomorrow, 4 p.m. When I first dropped the website, they all reported Stripe that it was a scam, and I couldn't release it the same day. My launch date for my course was fucked up because of bots reporting it.
A day or two gap to try and pretend that they're not all doing it in succinct. And after that, it comes in hard and fast, from Airbnb to Uber to Discord to Gmail accounts to absolutely anything and everything. They just start annihilating in real time, wiping them off the face of the planet, and you have no recourse. While they are doing this, they ensure that their media machine is telling it the biggest lies and gaslighting the public into believing you're genuinely dangerous and deserve what's happening to you. This is a big part of it. They need the populace to believe that you deserve this treatment. So they elaborate, they exaggerate, they choose small portions of things you said, they take things out of context, and they attack you absolutely so that people at home sit and go, wow, this bad person should be deleted for my safety.
Yeah. The amount of people I see who are like, free speech.
L3 in the chat. The amount of people who want free speech is disgusting. Going to the gym is a waste of time.
Not ban Tate, or a lot of the stuff I say is I don't like Tate, but I believe in not censoring people and free speech. It's all men.
He's saying vile stuff that
Yes.
I'm a woman.
Yes.
You're not.
Right.
It doesn't affect you.
I'm literally a woman, so I'm triggered and I'm offended, so you have to blame it because I'm a woman. So I get to decide what's good and bad.
There is a whole other problem about unilaterally
banning somebody, the way these platforms work together to ban somebody overnight, completely remove them.
The way that I see it, Andrew Tate, because I'm very aware of
You might
all
know
his
more
comments.
than, because I don't know.
Maybe, right? Maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
I see him as a hate group.
He's saying stuff like that women are the property of their boyfriend or husband, whatever it is.
Ultimately, what he
You
advocates.
see how they get triggered by the most low-level shit? They ignore all the parts about how they're trying to expose the problems of the government. They're trying to expose the problems about how we're all brainwashed. They said women is property. They're so dumb, so brainwashed, they focus on the low-level shit that bots use to cancel you. They use intolerance and ignore the bigger picture. They're trying to tell you how you're being lied to, how we're being manipulated. And these fucking bots go, yeah, they said that a woman should be in the kitchen. That hurts my feelings because I'm a woman. You're so dumb.
Gates is for violence against women.
Yes, if you take into context also that he's done sex trafficking.
Oh my God, you fucking dummies. You are so dumb. It's not true. This is what you have to believe because the bigger picture, the bigger ideas go so against everything that you live your life by. You need something to cancel him for. You need some reason, you need something to pinpoint and go, he's bad, he's a trafficker, he's this, he's a racist, he's a misogynist, he's an incel. And ignore everything else that you're trying to talk about. That's dumb thinking. And they'll make all these reaction videos, they'll make all these big projects about why it's problematic and it's hurtful. They'll put trigger warnings and lies and ignore the bigger picture. We're trying to talk about God. We're trying to talk about how the government is lying to you. We're trying to talk about how the people who control the world are demons. They touch kids on islands. All the stuff that they say is misinformation is probably what, chat? Man, he's a trafficker. You're so stupid. You know that's false.
Does it change your opinion?
Well, listen, 100% if he's doing sex trafficking, well, then that's...
They convince the people of the world that the only way they can be safe is if people like us don't exist, when nothing could be further from the truth.
And what you said again is beyond critical. The globalists even brag about this. They have the head of YouTube get up and say, yeah, my son likes Alex Jones, so I worked with other big tech to ban him. I've decided you don't get to see him. And Tim Cook said, we curated like a museum, Alex Jones, put him in the Phantom Zone. It's all coordinated, and that's what makes it illegal. Yeah, they can argue that we're utilities, but we're still allowed to ban people. We're private companies. But once they coordinate with the federal government and with Interpol and with European nations and the communist Chinese and others, now it's government colluding to censor people, and that is illegal in every Western nation. That's why lawsuits have been filed against Twitter, Facebook, and others, because even Zuckerberg went on Joe Rogan 2 weeks ago and admitted. He said, yeah, the FBI said, don't put out the Hunter Biden story. It's disinfo, which we all knew it was true. It was true then. And so they censored billions of users from being able to see that info because the FBI said so. That's the government the deep state in direct collusion with big tech. If that isn't authoritarianism, if that isn't tyranny, nothing is.
Well, that's how tyranny works. One of the key components to tyranny is you have to remove all opposing sides of an argument. And that's basically the easiest way to tyranny. This is what people don't understand. If you have two sides of an argument, regardless, even the people who disagree with me, I think they should have a platform and should be allowed to speak so that we can find a way to make sure that all of our discourse and all of our narratives are tested and battleground tested, and we have a chance to explain ourselves.
One, they're too afraid of debate. Two, they don't realize that you need polar opposites to somewhere the truth is always in the middle. I'm extreme red pill or whatever. Someone like Destiny is extreme blue pill. And that's what we argue. And the truth is somewhere in the middle. That's necessary. Discourse, disagreement, argument, conversation is necessary. But the blue pill side, the liberal side, the bot brainwash people who just echo whatever the fuck is on Twitter, they cannot handle debate. They cannot handle conversation. They want to ban the other side. They're actively trying to ban me right now. YouTube should ban SNEAKO. Label me a misogynist, say that I'm triggering, convince all the fucking bot people who watch their videos that I'm a bad person because they can't get on a call. They don't even want the other side to exist. And even though this fucking person told his fans at the end of the video to mass report both of my channels, I will never encourage my fans to do the same shit. One, because we know it would never work. YouTube wants these soy boys, and that's who's gonna always be on trending, and I'll never get on trending. But two, it's necessary to have both sides. We need disagreement. It's important. They're so dumb they don't realize that. Imagine if it was just these fucking people on YouTube. Imagine how boring it would be. Not even just boring, imagine how the truth will get diluted because there's not both sides. Look, you're all the way on this side, you're afraid of me, you just want to ban me. And if YouTube is just those people, we all end up like you. And we don't all want to end up like you, and you all don't want to end up like me. It's somewhere in the middle. Think past your bot brainwashed brain for 5 seconds, bro.
When you remove the other side and live in an echo chamber, nobody needs to have any kind of logical explanation or logical grounding for their thoughts. And that's how it's very, very easy and quick to grind into complete and utter tyranny. Look what happened in the last 3 years. Nobody was allowed to stand up and say these lockdown measures are draconian. These lockdown measures are out of control, and they're genuinely damaging people more than the virus itself, because nobody was allowed to say that. Look what we spiraled into. We spiraled into a situation where, like you said, the government broke their own law, broke the own laws of the Constitution to protect us against basically everything, and destroyed people's lives in real time. I don't believe that the lockdown measures have been legal in a single country they were implemented. How could they be?
Well, that's right. And they say there's science, but everything they said was a lie. I use a Hunter Biden laptop. The COVID censorship of ivermectin that they knew worked, they confirmed in major studies works, the censorship of other treatments, the ventilators, the not letting family in to see their parents in nursing homes, but sending sick people in, everything they did, claiming that the...
Chat, this type of talk can get your shit flagged as misinformation. So, Susan, I don't agree with anything Alex Jones is saying. I support all of that is good. Ivermectin is bad. Nobody lied about COVID. You guys are right. And all the misinformation that you flag about, it's all true. You're right. Big tech is right.
Vaccines 100% effective. Now they admit it doesn't work. 9 out of 10 dying have been triple jabbed.
Nope. It all works. It all works.
I mean, they really have proven that they're in a war against science. And science is questioning. Science is challenging. That's what freedom is. Real science is freedom. And as you said, they need a echo chamber where they can just brainwash people, or a matrix, a false reality bubble they put people in. We were talking before we went on air today. You want to talk about the Great Awakening. You were telling me they're losing.
Yeah, I think that there's massive pressure behind the dam, that people are starting to wake up and understand that these people are tyrannical. And the only thing that's missing, the only crack that has been missing for a long time, is the fact that once you've been depersoned, a lot of people are genuinely fearful of it because they don't feel like they can maintain mainstream consciousness. You've done very, very well. I'm now going to do very, very well myself. And as we continue to lead the world to show that even without these platforms, you can stay relevant, respected, and still reach your audience, then that's going to put the crack in the dam, and I believe the pressure is going to do the rest, and it's going to...
I hope the same happens to me, chat. If I ever do get banned, which will not happen soon, it's actually never going to happen. I'm going to be on the platform because I love everything they talk about. But also, if my Rumble is SNEAKO Live. SNEAKO Live on Rumble. That's where all my videos go. I've had to take down some videos because they were misinformation, and Susan was right. Those do not belong on YouTube platforms. You don't want to put any misinformation out there. But all those videos are on Rumble, SNEAKO Live. Follow me on Instagram too, @SNEAKO. They suspended my Twitter, but right now that's where you can find me on the other platforms. Also, I re-upload all my streams to patreon.com/TheSNEAKO.
Finally explode and blow open. People are tired of being told what they're allowed to hear and what they're allowed to think. On all sides of the spectrum, I like to believe that people are tired of this. And it doesn't matter what kind of monopoly you hold. Every single monopoly in history believed they had ultimate power and would never, ever, ever lose control. The Roman Empire did. The Mongol Empire did. This tech empire does. And sooner or later, when you're too tyrannical and you piss off populations, there is revolution.
The world up until this point was based on freedom. How they advertised you to be a good slave was they would give you some freedom. And when I say slave, I use that word particularly because a slave used to work his ass off and he would get food and a house in return. And 99% of people out here, my friend, are working their asses off. They can buy food and a house. That's it. Most people are still slaves. They would tell you you're going to be a slave, but you'll be free at least. You know, you can do what you want. You can think what you want. You can say what you want. You can walk around outside, look at the trees, you're a slave, but you're free. Freedom, freedom, freedom. And what happened when they did this, something changed. The internet came. People start to talk. People start to think. People start to realize how money's made. People start to realize it's all a scam. Cryptocurrency was invented. Now you have Bitcoin, which is surpassing the global reserve currency. We don't need banks anymore. We don't need the IMF anymore. People are starting to talk. People have elected Trump, a man who's not bought and controlled by the establishment. People are starting to actually get their minds right. So the people in charge are like, oh, fuck, we're losing control. We no longer control the money. We no longer control who's in charge of each country. Oh, fuck, we've got to put an end to this. We can no longer base our societies on freedom. We must base our societies on safety.
This is why they ban Tate. You think that it's misogyny, you think that it's trafficking, you think that it's all the lies that the basic level bots have believed in from the mainstream news. No, what he just said is why he was banned. Information is powerful, and they don't want you to hear that.
You can't think for yourself. We can't put these videos on YouTube because it's fake news and it's dangerous. You can't go outside because the virus and it's dangerous. You can't travel in between countries without that injection because it's dangerous. This is no longer about freedom, my friends. This is about your safety. They're going to take all your freedom away, and instead they're going to give you a nice big helping of safety. And you're going to take it and go, oh, at least I'm safe. You were safer before. You were safer before because now the government can arrest you for saying something they don't like. Because now you're spreading fake news. You were safer when you could have an opinion.
Well, that's right. I'm not a world champion kickboxer like you, but I certainly learned growing up in Dallas where it was rough and tumble that a lot of people would start a fight with you and hit you, and then they would stand back and wait for you to fall over. But if you didn't fall over, well, then you were on top of them and they were losing. And what the globalists do is they attack us, they demonize us, and they expect us to buy into the narrative that, oh,
that's a nasty right hook.
It's over for us. But if you just keep fighting, the human instinct,
right cross, my bad. Sorry, boxers.
Sees that and has a real desire, a fiery lust to be part of that. And so by us not giving up, even if we're destroyed like the Alamo, we inspire others for the overall victory of our species. And I think that's where we're going to win in the end. The globalists think we're like them, where if they were attacked or they were bullied or they were demonized, they would go away because they're followers. They joined the globalists, this hierarchical system. They don't understand that we don't give up when we're attacked. We just attack harder. How would you quantify that phenomenon?
No, you're completely and utterly right. We are men of old, and leaders of old used to charge first into battle. We don't send other people's sons and kids to go die in war and hide in a nice cushy office ourselves. No, men of old, we got on a horse and we charged in front of our armies. And we're a different caliber of man. And that's why we have independent thoughts in the first place. You're right. We never subscribed. We never sold our souls. We developed independent thoughts that allowed us to think for ourselves and come to our own conclusions, despite the fact that there are large groups of people that told us we were completely and utterly wrong.
And they've realized that to have ultimate power, that's the most threatening thing to the establishment. If you have independent thought, if you're powerful, if you don't believe everything that you heard from the people at the top, then that's the biggest threat. And if they want ultimate control, they need to brainwash everybody. And how do you brainwash everybody? They manipulate you with fear. But that's actually what started the country. People who wanted independence. People who wanted to get away from tyranny. The fact that people don't see the cycle repeating itself is just...
And we have the kind of personality and persuasion and also charisma to convince others and inspire others to charge at the enemy. And that's exactly what they're scared of.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell a story here, and I'm not going to name names because I don't want to embarrass anybody, but I had problems when I was a teenager too. I'm not perfect. But I have somebody very close to me that got into being a victim. They were still great, but felt sorry for themselves and just was caught up in the system and had girlfriends that were liberal and just that whole sick society. And I couldn't wake them up with my pep talks. I couldn't get them to make the leap into being a real man when they had such incredible potential. And literally listening to you the last 8 months or so, because I'm really busy, stuff's going on. I watch your clips, I love you, but I wasn't really paying attention. And someone very close to me said, Andrew Tate, he's amazing. He's waking me up. He's doing all this. You know, he's number one. He's incredible. I'm like, yeah, I know Andrew. He's wonderful. And then I just saw this total change the last 8 months, and this person very close to me, thanks to you. And it's invaluable, and it's a total difference. It's like night and day. How do people get out of the mind control they're under? Why are you so popular with the young people? And how do adults watching this send their young people to you? Because they go, oh, it's brash. Oh, it's this. Well, that's what humanity is. And sure, you may be what they call extreme because we're so domesticated, but really 1,000 years ago, you'd just be normal. You'd be a normal alpha male. You'd be a normal leader. So how do we take the success you've had that scares the hell out of them in getting young girls and boys, teenagers, college people to really break the spell? Because you've been doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what they're scared of, because there's a huge swath of the population that aligns with my messaging. And the reason they fear it is because I'm speaking to the youth of the world and telling them that the way they've been feeling, when they've been feeling like they've been disaffected and forgotten about, is not their fault. They try and delete me and replace me with some puppet like Logan Paul or James Charles or one of these mouthpieces. And nobody feels affinity to these people because they know they're not brave. They know that they sold their souls, and they know that they're just parrots which are repeating what they've been told to say. I am inspiring the youth by actually standing up and talking about the issues which are true to them. And they see that my reality is a reality they want to emulate. And when you're a young man and you see a man whose life you want, you're very likely to listen to his thoughts and opinions on how he should get there. That's all I'm doing. And I'm leading by example. And that's what they're truly, truly fearful of. They don't want me to make people to feel better. We're talking about your friend. I made your friend feel better. That's what they want. They don't want that. They don't want people to feel better. They don't want anyone to feel good. They
want you to be depressed, weak, giving all your money away. They want you to be addicted to porn. They want you to watch destructive media. They want you to go say slide for Vaughn. They want you to watch James Charles twerk. They want you to go, yes, Cardi B. They want you to be brainwashed by godless, demonic behavior, be entertained by nonsense. They want you to worship celebrities so you get dumber and sadder and more depressed. And then you go to therapy. And then you take antidepressants. And then you don't realize why you're sad. You don't realize why you're upset. It's everything that you consume. They ban anything that makes you feel better and encourage the demonic behavior so that you stay dumb, weak, slow, and sad.
They don't want anyone to think. They don't want anyone to have their own independent thoughts. They don't want any of that. What they want is mindless, soulless slaves who are so depressed they can't think about anything outside of themselves, and they're busy popping medication and sitting around in a room in between shifts at their slave job. That's all they want. And they find me as a threat. They think I'm a threat to the system purely because I encourage young men to get strong, train hard, find some brothers who they can rely on, and think for themselves.
Well, that's it. And you said it, aspire to something. Young people aren't aspiring to anything. The left teaches them to be lazy, to be victims, to be depressed, and that's cool. No. When you're fighting in a business or for your family or for your life,
you have no time.
Getting up.
You have no time to be depressed. You have no time to be weak. To be a proper provider, to be a proper person in society that contributes and does something positive, you need to be focused up. You need to be strong. You need to realize what's wrong. You need to follow God. So they tell you to do everything the opposite.
Up to go to your friend's house when they need your help, and then them helping you. That's the real brotherhood, the sisterhood, the human community of being a clan. And we're one human species that needs those goals. And so people need to aspire and say, I want to be successful, because it's not even getting to the success that matters. It's aspiring to it is what you're supposed to do, because you've got to have a purpose-driven life and a mission. And these young people need a mission, and you're giving them a mission.
Absolutely. And what's actually interesting is it's extremely hypocritical, because when the shit hits the fan, when they need soldiers to go die in a war.
Chat. When shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? If I go to YouTube jail, if I get deleted, when they take me off of Twitter, is you still a fan? Is you still gonna find me? Are you gonna go to KSI and Logan Paul and James Charles and dumb, slow, OnlyFans, prawn, meaningless, mindless, slow content? When shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? Are you gonna search it out, or are you gonna look at the same fucking trending page bullshit? Pay attention. The stuff that they feed you, the stuff on the Explore page, the stuff that's in the TikTok algorithm, all of it is against this type of content. They don't want you to see this. Everybody who's been clipping up my stuff and putting it on TikTok, they have seen the suppression. They have seen the censorship. They do not want to see, they don't want you to see this content. They say it's harassment, they say it's bullying, they say it's violent conduct. They make up all these lies so that you feel protected and safe, and then feed you prawn. On the Instagram Explore page, you can see all these toys for beating your meat. All the Instagram Explore page, every time I open it up and I have to search someone's name, it's just like people encouraging cheating. People encouraging baby daddy. When your baby daddy's took a Viagra and he's fucking you, when you at the gym and you're cheating on your trainer. It's just mindless, godless content to make you sad. And you think it's entertainment. That's why you spend all day with fucking rappers as your profile picture, and all they do is encourage murder. Slide for Vaughn, smoking on that Vaughn pack. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're celebrating the death of somebody you don't even know. You're getting involved in rap beef that has nothing to do with you. You're from Iowa. You're from Idaho. What the fuck are you talking about drill music in New York? You like to encourage murder. Your brainwashed to think that shit is cool. Everything that you think is cool is stuff that they're promoting from the top. It's on the Explore page, stupid. That's not cool. That's demonic behavior. So pay attention. When shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? Because the censorship is getting worse, and I know you're starting to wake up to it.
Or when they need firemen to charge into a burning building, when they need police officers to hopefully save children in a school shooting and not just stand outside, when they need real men to go do real things, then they call on the men like me and the men who think like me. Then they want the men who are brave, who are masculine, who have tenets of masculinity, who have honor, who have duty. Then they want us. But as soon as they don't want us to go risk our lives to protect them, they say we're not allowed opinion, we're not allowed to think, we're not allowed to talk, and we should be depersoned and deleted. They try and use us, absolutely and utterly, because society needs men like us, and I'm the one who's been speaking up for them. They also pretend they give a shit about men's mental health. You told me one example about how I helped your friend. I have hundreds of thousands of emails for young men I've helped, and older men who I've helped with their mindset and helped with their approach towards life. I have genuinely changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of people for the better. They talk about giving a shit about men and giving a shit about men's mental health while deleting me, the person who helps them the most, and saying they're going to replace me with some algorithm matrix agent bot like Logan Paul, who nobody respects and doesn't want to listen to. It's bullshit. If they gave a shit about men's mental health, they'd leave me up there to inspire the youth. They don't care. All they care about is narrative control.
And we're going to dive into Andrew Tate. I don't feel like platforming this guy.
You are right now saying this shit, idiot.
I don't feel like giving him the blessing of being my dance partner in the ring.
You are...
Especially after...
I don't feel like it.
The social media platforms have made it very clear how they feel about this guy, right? And I would even put a little call out here to like fellow creators and even JJ, like...
Don't platform him because it's problematic and dangerous.
You want to re-platform this guy? Anyone, you want to have him on your shows, you want to give him another opportunity to speak and spread his agenda, because whether you believe it or not, the shit that Andrew Tate is saying will have a ripple effect much more dangerous than you can imagine, because his narrative is truly hateful.
But
his rhetoric has extreme negative energy in it, and it will affect
Yo, fuck Prime. Fuck this drink.
Impressionable young people in a way that will not show until years from now, and it is dangerous.
On April 23rd, 1910, the iconic American president who busted up the Rockefeller Trust in America gave his incredibly historic speech, Citizen in a Republic.
There you go with Alex Jones.
It was the man in the arena speech that sent shockwaves throughout the world.
All right.
And I live by this creed.
At least it's better than Prime.
I'm about to read to you just a short excerpt of the 30-plus minute speech he gave to over 5 million attendees in Paris, France. We have released a coin that has Teddy Roosevelt on the front and a gladiator on the back.
Yo, Chad, you know that Prime has 3 times the amount of sodium that's supposed to be in a drink?
Everything we do is about the man and the woman in the arena fighting.
This doesn't have a... You can't skip this. It's just playing. Yo, Chad, do 10 push-ups real quick. Do 10 push-ups during this ad.
There are only 10,000 of this coin available. And ladies and gentlemen, this coin is funding our operations as men and women in the arena. Let me read to you part of his famous speech. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man has stumbled or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who...
What do you mean don't tell me what to do? Oh, God, can this shut up? I'm gonna wait for this to play. 8 days since I last busted, bro. I'm making major progress. Been watching before you made this channel, but you're definitely the man for the job. Keep spreading the message. Appreciate you, bro. Stay up, man. Stop watching prawn. Yo, chat, how many of you did those 10 push-ups? Is ad still playing? Bro, this is the perfect time to try to get in shape, to not end up like a fucking... Okay, back? Nope, still playing. You're still talking about the coins. You did 100? Why are you lying right now, chat? Why are you lying? Chat, think about it. How many people do you think just watched that and didn't do anything about it?
Happens because he doesn't want to get hurt that badly. I just find it very interesting what happened to me, and probably the same thing happened to you. During my banning, I saw in real time and learned which public figures, which talking heads, which are allowed to have a platform by the Matrix, actually have any kind of degree of character, and which ones will instantly bend, break, and swap and change their opinion on you overnight because somebody above them told them they have to. You get to learn in real time who actually sticks up for you and is true, and some people are, and which ones just instantly cave and comply. You'd be amazed how many people have absolutely no moral fiber.
Well, how would you quantify, because I know you have this, and I have it, like, when I know I'm right, I don't care about being attacked. And when I'm in the fight, politically or physically or whatever it is, I'm in ecstasy. And I see these unhappy men that don't get taking a chance, standing up, being a man. It's what you're supposed to do, damn it. And so they're not even alive. They're in a coma, and they think like you're some weird dinosaur. Well, they should try to become that dinosaur because they become nothing but jellyfish. I mean, can you describe when you get in the ring, world champion, kicked all these people's ass, beat all these other big champions? You've won like 4 times, at least I know of, against, top people in real, bare knuckle stuff. Yeah. What is the essence?
Not bare knuckle. There's clearly something covering the knuckle.
Of that when you climb in the ring.
Yeah, and that's the essence of masculinity as a whole. I think it's always been about competition. I think it always has been. It's always been about respect, and respect comes from winning in different various forms of competition, whether it's money, financial, business, physical, etc. And there's so many men out there today that you're right. Nobody respects them. No, they are afraid of competition. They've been told by the Matrix they should be that way. They're unhappy with their lives. They're unhappy seeing others win. And then they become extremely hateful. And these are the exact people who pray for our downfall. You could line up a line of people, and I can tell just by looking at them which ones like me and support me and which ones hate me. You can tell by their stature. You can tell by the way they talk. You can tell by their confidence. You can tell by so many different things. The successful people in the world are huge fans of mine. The successful people in the world want their children to listen to me. The successful people in the world realize I'm a force for good. The people who want to...
You know who the people who want to silence them look like?
Relationships should...
This is who wants to silence him. L3, the gym is bad for you.
I decided to take a month off of social media because being exposed is...
And this is who thinks Andrew Tate is problematic. This is who wants to ban me from the platform.
An abuser was very...
Bombaclan! Sit and pretend that I am somehow dangerous are people who are sad, miserable, and lonely. Hate never comes from above, it always comes from below. And these people are just desperate to try and find a way to attack an alpha male, and the only way they can do that is via these platforms run by betas. They can't attack us in the real world.
Perfectly said. The globalists are a bunch of wimps, a bunch of nerds who hate humanity, hate women, hate men, and see themselves really as not even human, and they think...
Look at this demon, man. Is this not exactly what the Matrix looked like? Everybody plugged in while a demon lizard walks around smiling. You all plug into his algorithm, give him all your information, your fingerprints, your blood, your eye scanner, your family, your porn habits, your sexual orientation, your entire life history, where you've been, your GPS tracking, everything plugged up to him. This is the Matrix. This is exactly what it looked like in the movie.
If they can defeat human strength of family, men, women, children, and mount our head on the wall, that somehow now they're really the alpha. Instead of becoming an alpha and competing and getting in the ring, they want to isolate us and use technology to control us so they can play God. It's pathetic.
I completely and utterly agree with you. This is the first time in human history where these type of people have had any kind of influence over people like us. Before this technology bullshit, when they saw people like us, they bowed down and showed respect, or they ran away, or they complied, or they followed us, or they were inspired by us and became something better. One of a few things happened. Never in a period of human history did you have a bunch of betas, dorks, and geeks who had the ability to shut the alphas up, ever. And now they've got this little bit of control and they think they're going to have it forever. And I completely and utterly disagree with that. I do not think God will allow the world to burn the way it would burn if these people retained control. I think something has to happen. And I do believe we're at the very, very beginning of a very large movement.
Well, that's right. And real alphas aren't evil. You got twisted.
That's what he said to me. He sent me a voice message on Tristan's phone. He said, if I'm Morpheus, you could be Neo. You're on the Never Can Ever with me. The agenda's attacking you. And also he said to go check out my Rumble SNEAKO Live, which I'm going to be more active on. Rumble.com. Look up SNEAKO Live. I'm going to start plugging in more. I'm going to start live streaming on there too. Shout out to Cozy TV as well and all these alternative sites. But he said, if I'm Morpheus, you could be Neo. But I'm going to stay on YouTube. I'm not ready to fully go on another platform financially and mentally. I'm not there yet. I need to see here. I need to be on the bot platform.
Twisted people you can call alpha that are evil, but everywhere the left is in control is feces and needles and collapse and ugliness and pain and crime and destruction, because at the end of the day, they're not leading. They're just annihilating leadership and undermining, and they're even undermining their own stance. All these globalists are building armored redoubts and fortresses running from what they've done. They removed male leadership from the world. They set up a technocracy. Now things are collapsing. They feel like they're winning. They don't even understand chivalry.
That's a liberal run city right there. That's what it looks like in a godless city with they, thems, and trans. This is what happens when we stand for nothing. We allow everything. When we say all cops are bastards, abolish the police. This is the result. LA's a fucking wasteland.
Developed chivalry in the last few thousand years as we were wimps. We said, hey, let's just let men kill men and men compete. Let's not wipe everything out while we're doing it. Let's have some rules. And these guys have broken the rules.
Oh, completely and utterly. You absolutely and utterly nailed it. And they don't even have enough self-accountability or enough honor or enough responsibility to look in the mirror and realize that they fucked up. They're just going to run away, and they're going to hire some alpha male armed guards, and they're going to hire some big strong men to build them a bunker. Once again, more alpha males. They're going to exploit alpha males because they managed to get some money, and they're going to pay those guys, and they're going to sit there and hide like a bunch of fucking cowards.
And they don't know, because I know these people, I know you do, all of the top tier people are just can't wait to kill the globalists once it goes down. I mean, they don't understand, like their worst enemy sitting right next to them. They are so stupid.
And that's the thing. I think in real time now, we're starting to live in a period of history after the lockdown, after Corona. Now we have the problems going on in Europe with Russia and Ukraine. We're living in a scenario now where politicians in most Western countries are ignoring the needs of their own people to try and support this idealistic.
You know, it's just such a W collab. The next time they need to get Trump and they need to get Kanye West. Imagine the four of them all on a call. I'm surprised that I'm so late on reacting to this. I did not know they were together talking. Whoa, you see that lightning? Is that Susan attacking? What the fuck? Shout out to Alex Jones. I'm really glad he did this interview.
View or this idealistic war somewhere else. And there's large swaths of the population. Recently in Czech Republic was huge protests. France was huge protests. Italy was protests. Even in Germany, they're starting to protest. People are starting to understand their own politicians don't care about them. They're selling out their own people, selling out their own businesses, selling out their own energy sector, anything it takes to try and support some idealistic war somewhere else because they've been told to by a higher power. And people are starting to wake up saying, this doesn't make sense. Nobody's actually representing us. And public consciousness is what they have to fear. The more people learn, the more people finally wake up.
The more people wake up! Wake up! Stop believing the lies. Stop getting brainwashed by bot YouTubers. All these people have sold their souls. Everything you consume on social media is programming. Wake the fuck up. It's time to turn against big tech. It's time to realize that they want to make you weaker and dumber and slower and sadder. I'm sick of it. I know you are too. Deep down, you know the same thing. You know that everything that's happened in the past 2 years is completely wrong, but they've manipulated your empathy and made you think that it's right. Fuck that. Time to wake up. Do you see them attacking me? This is what I'm saying, man. Dude, totally, dude? No, that's problematic and trafficking, dude.
Then they're going to have a serious, serious problem.
Andrew, take the Great Reset, which is quantifying what you're saying. Top Fortune 500, artificially cut out the economy, pump credit out to people to control them, bring out a social credit score, universal basic income to dictate human behavior, while they're dissolving the very infrastructure that protects them and gives them all this science and medicine and wealth. And then they're pretending like they're going to manage this and get rid of most of us, and then they're going to survive with what's left. That is the stupidest, dumbest thing if you've studied history. It's destined to fail. It's already failing.
Oh, absolutely. But these people are completely arrogant and deeply narcissistic. They've been born into families or societies or systems where they're told for some reason they're somehow God, and they believe that they know everything, and they've never lived in the real world. They never interacted with real people, and they're just spoiled children who've grown up inside of some silver spoon, coddled room, padded room bullshit. And they're fucking fantasists. And that's what happens when you reach a certain level of arrogance. You become a full-on fantasist like they are. It's a stupid idea, and it's absolutely destined to fail. What's unfortunate about it is it can't just fail in isolation. For it to fail, millions of people are going to suffer and die. And these people are not even going to have any they're not even going to have any empathy. They're not even going to feel bad for what they did because they've been born without it, because it's been bred out of them. It's absolutely and utterly disgusting.
And what you said, this is the essence of what we face. It's not just a bunch of nerds and a bunch of...
Chad, I don't really care about veganism. I like to eat meat.
Bomboka!
It just goes that far. I don't know, he wants to come and debate me about why it's good to eat plants and stuff like that. Just to do your diet, I don't really feel like having this debate. There's bigger issues.
Control freaks that want to get rid of competition and alpha males and show up the system and what they call the final revolution, ending the normal, healthy human cycle. It is the aristocratic, royalty, and inbred 20, 30 generations where, 300 years ago, if a king didn't lead an army, he would get assassinated. They haven't led armies in over 100 years. They lay around, and they're all just being pampered by sycophants, and they're totally delusional.
Oh, the queen, the royal family, the monarchy, a moniker of respect, and they go to Epstein's Island. Chat, should I even upload this video, or am I going to get a strike? WL if I should upload this. Susan, all this is ironic. I don't support anything that these people are saying. I'm just reacting to it, and I'm entertained by it because they're goofy misogynists. But I don't believe in anything they say. Alex Jones is a bad person. Andrew Tate is a bad person. They should be deleted off every platform, and I'm glad that they were deleted. I don't support this. This is bad. I'm against God. And what else are they? I'm gay. I'm trans. I'm a trans person, Susan. I now go by she, her, and I'm gay. I love eating meat. Sorry, vegan gains. I love meat. And I'm trans. I'm a they, them trans person. I now identify as a woman. Call me Snikita. Snikita. I'm trans and I'm gay. And I'm just, these are racist misogynists. They deserve to be canceled. And anybody who agrees with them deserves to be canceled. Logan Paul is my savior. KSI is my favorite. I want to watch Lil Nas X. I like what's on the trending page. I want to spend all my money on OnlyFans. Prawn is good. Beat my meat. Lock me down. Inject me. Inject again. I'm gay, trans, and I am boosted. Fauci is my savior. I'm a gay Fauci lover. Hillary is woke. She-Hulk is my favorite movie. Yes, yes, good. I'll stay inside. I'll take another one. That's good. I'm a trans god hater. Lil Nas X makes good music. Twerk on the devil. Ha 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 ha. Woke. Good. Yes. Snikita. I'm a they. Good.
With a technocracy deploying something, attacking the very system that they're living off of, they're jumping the shark, and it's going to fail.
Oh, absolutely and utterly. You completely nailed it. That's exactly what they're doing. And they have this supreme arrogance where they believe it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay for me because I have money. And to a degree, it saved them up until this point. And money can save you to a point. But it gets to, in certain places like Sri Lanka, for example, when there's a large enough uprising of the populace and people have finally had enough, the money didn't save them over there. And it gets to a certain point where people have finally had enough. Listen, we're all human. And we want to have...
We're not all human. I am identify as a not human. I am a trans. I am trans. And if you don't go by my pronouns, then you are violent. Lasanabi makes good content. Yes, I agree. The government is my favorite. And I like the metaverse. Zuckerberg, yes. McDonald's, yum. Prime, my favorite drink. I like to finish my day with some trans prawn and prime. I like Prime in my body. The calories are good. I finish my day with a booster and some gay prawn, and I beat my meat and say hello to all my OnlyFans content creators. Yes, 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 yes. Prime. McDonald's. I like Susan. Good, good, good. I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay. A family's bad. God is not real. Religion is oppressive and racist. Sneakita, 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 sneakita. I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm trans. Everything against me is misinformation. Yes, 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 yes.
Safe
soy milk
families and safe neighborhoods. We want to have consensual, beautiful relationships and marriages. We want to feel happy and feel good. And unfortunately, under some of these laws they're making and some of the societies they're trying to create, it is literally impossible for a full-grown man to have a happy, consensual relationship, feel safe and secure in his home, and enjoy raising his children. That's becoming impossible. And as soon as you make that impossible for people, there's going to be massive backlash.
Amazing. You know, in the 20 minutes we've got left, you're a great interview. I want to try to shut up and just let you roll here for viewers and listeners. This is something I do with guests I really want to hear from. For the next 5 minutes, Andrew Tate, I'm going to give you the floor. Then I've got a bunch of questions I want to ask, but you've got the floor here. Millions and millions are going to watch.
20 more minutes of this misogynist and this racist.
This obviously, when the two most censored men in the
I hate listening to misinformation, but it's good to digest it.
world get together on air. Give us your treatise.
Yeah, I have a lot I can talk about and a lot I can say, but I think that it's very, very important that we understand if we do not hang together, we will hang one by one. And it's important.
Hanging one by one is good. Togetherness is bad. I want to stay alone and cover my face.
It's important for people to sit here and think, well, he got banned. Maybe
banning is good.
He was too extreme. This guy got banned. Maybe he said this one bad thing once. He got banned. Maybe the media has a point. They don't have a point. If they had a genuine point, and they weren't.
The media is good. The media is always right. The media has every single point. Zuckerberg is always right.
Afraid of open debate and discourse, then nobody would be getting banned at all. And they're pushing things far too close to the barrier, and they're doing that on purpose because they fear different ideas. I do believe that God has a plan for the world, and his plan is not to allow.
God has no plan. God is the devil.
These people to completely and utterly burn it to the ground. I do believe that we're in a period of a redemption arc for humanity.
No, humanity needs to plug into metaverse and become trans.
Things have gotten dark now, but a ball always hits the bottom before it bounces to the top. But it's very important the people who are awake and the people who understand.
I am asleep. Sleeping is good.
Not only try and educate as many people as possible, but
education is bad. I like Lil Nas X.
Also support each other and also support the leaders like yourself and like myself who are out here taking on the risk and the responsibility of being completely deplatformed, depersoned.
Deplatform you. Tate is bad.
Having serious
I want Meg Thee Stallion
threats on our safety and
Cardi B drug me
security to try and tell the truth. It's been a very interesting few years, and we've seen what happens when people don't have a voice and don't stand up and try and repel against these systems. I really do think that the acts that have happened across these last few years in the name of trying to save lives for COVID have been genuinely.
I like COVID. I like Fauci. I want more COVID. I want another booster.
Criminal. And I don't think they would have tested this kind of system or tested this kind of censorship and repression to just stop it and go back to normal. I think it was a test of a system, and they intend on coming in harder than ever before with some new story and some new excuse later on down the line. And it gets to a point where you finally have to stand up and realize that you cannot run from what is going to come to you. You cannot escape it. You cannot hide. You cannot deny it. You get to a point where you understand you need to find people who are like-minded and stand up. And the best way you can stand up at this current point in time is just to educate others and just to highlight the injustices which are being purported by these systems. My banning was absolutely and utterly unjust. I never broke any terms of service. They know that. The whole world knows that now. And the public sentiment is on my side. And the more people talk about this and the more people discuss this and tell others and educate others, the
he's a trafficker.
Harder it's going to be for them to keep this curtain, this iron curtain of theirs, over the truth, because that's all they truly want to do. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Everyone knows.
Power is good. Give it all to Soros.
It's this saying, and it's completely and utterly true. And we're now in a situation where they have absolute power. But I do believe that we're moving to a transitional period, a transitional place, and you've been a massive leader in that force. And even now, as much as they say you're banned, anybody who types your name into a lot of these Matrix-led platforms can still find videos of you. So they can't completely and utterly shut you up because people want to listen to what you have to say. People want to hear you. And it's for that reason that they fear you, because they try and take men like us, delete us, and replace us with these talking heads. But humans have an instinct. And that instinct allows us to feel affinity with somebody.
Instinct is bad. Human connection is evil.
They can hear your voice or mine and know they want to hear what we have to say because they know we have character and we're integral and we have morals.
Put on a mask, put on a mask, put on a mask.
These talking heads don't have any of that. So when they put them there to read from the hymn sheet, it simply doesn't resonate with the youth of today. And that's how I managed to become the most Googled man on the planet, by just telling men the truth about the experience.
Misinformation, misogynist.
They're going through and the life they're going to live. It's a really interesting period of human time. And I've really been appreciative also of your support and the support of the other mainstream characters who stood up and said, listen, this has gone on long enough.
Well, it certainly has. The people are hungry for freedom. Let's talk about how the enemy is going to strike back, because they're definitely in trouble. The whole world's turning against them. But I'm really concerned about false flags ahead of the midterms. We already see them cutting the power off all over the world. They said we're going to go big with environmentalism and power outages in the undercover video from Project Veritas about 8 months ago. We now see that happening. How do you see these control freaks striking back?
Well, this is what's scary, is because power and energy is the absolute base for any country on the planet. If you don't have energy or power, you have nothing else. You don't have security, you don't have safety, you don't have food production, you don't have absolutely anything. So they're going down to the very, very core and very, very crux of humanity now. Once power outages start becoming a mainstream thing, it's not just about not being able to turn on your television. It's about crime. It's about people dying on the street. It's about emergency services. It's about food production. It's about so many more important things. And it's truly evil. But when you get insulated like these people are at the level they're at, completely insulated from the consequences of their own actions, they're prepared to sacrifice a few pawns in their own mind to try and win the chess game. And that's what they see us as. They see us as disposable and expendable. And yes, we're living in 2022. We're living in a society and a world which is very, very...
Did you just say we live in a society?
very technologically advanced. There's no reason for anywhere to be running out of power. We've had electricity for long enough. And when that starts happening, to believe it's some kind of accident or coincidence is asinine. It is impossible in the current world we live in, with all the current resource and all the smart people on the planet, and the fact that we all know we need electricity, and the fact that we had all the electricity we needed in the 80s, to now be here 40 or 50 years later and say we can't generate electricity. That is clown world fantasy.
And the globalists said they were going to cut the power off. They cut off thousands of coal power plants here alone, while China builds 3 a week. They have shut us down. This is warfare against the West, because the Western ideal cannot operate when the globalists have all these other countries under slavery. People will aspire to Western freedom, and so it has to be gotten rid of. Can you speak to that?
Oh yeah, completely and utterly. And they have to change society and change the basis on which society is run. Society was run in the West on the premise of freedom. You can come to the West, and if you comply with the law, we will provide you with freedom. They've realized that, like you said, that doesn't give them enough control, and that's what tyrants are obsessed with. So they want to replace freedom with safety, because it's the only thing that people will accept their freedom.
Keep me safe, keep me safe, keep me safe. Sneakita has arrived. I am she, they. Tate's a misogynist. Ban SNEAKO from all platforms. Sneakita, I'm gay. Cover your face. Cover your face. Ha 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 ha. My favorite time to scroll on my app, TikTok. China, take my info. Sneakita's feeding you info. Ha 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 ha. Time to reproduce. OnlyFans, assemble. Sneakita, watch trans porn. Ah, take my money. Sneakita, Sneakita, snip, snip your wee wee. Snip, 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 snip. Grow some titties. Okay, wait.
Being taken away for. We're going to take all your freedom away, but don't worry, you're going to be safe. You'll be safe from the common cold. You'll be safe from whatever else. So they're trying to destroy our freedoms and replace it with safety. Now, to replace freedom with safety, you need to convince people that they're in danger. How do you do that? Well, you either create a media spin and convince everyone the common cold is somehow deadly, or what you can do is you can cause blackouts, cause mass crime rates to increase, cause mass famine, and put people in danger for real. Because when they're in real danger and they're really scared, then they'll really sign up for safety. If there's only going to be one town in the whole state that has electricity, you're going to agree with whatever piece of paper they make you sign, whatever rules you have to agree to, you're going to agree to get in. And that's what they're trying to do.
And they admit that. Club of Rome, Bilderberg Group, and its spokesperson, Klaus Schwab, WEF, says, we're going to get rid of the old system, that's the Great Reset, to build back better, and you're going to have a universal basic income with programmed tokens.
Build back better, 666, good, 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 twerk, 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 Cardi, 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 B.
That tell you where and how and when you can spend that money. I mean, that is beyond the mark of the beast.
Oh, absolutely, because if anybody understands the world, understands that every single system on the planet is absolutely and utterly corrupt. The judicial system's corrupt, the law system's corrupt, the medical systems are now corrupted. Everything's corrupt. So any system that involves humanity at any level is going to have a degree of corruption. And if you think they're going to give you these tokens and it's going to be somehow fair and non-corrupt, you are a idealist at best and an idiot at worst, probably a combination of the two. I often say to people, if you go to a poker game and there's no referee and there's $5,000 at stake, do you think people would cheat without any kind of referee? And people say, well, yeah, probably. So if you understand that people will cheat in a poker game or a basketball game for menial amounts of money without any kind of judge or referee, how are you going to sit and then believe that the most powerful people on the planet to control nations and control entire populaces are not going to cheat and bend the rules? Of course they are. This is human nature. That's absolutely what they're going to do. They're not going to risk losing. So they're going to cheat and lie and be corrupt their entire way. That's the only thing they're interested in, is absolute and utter power.
Let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention. Yes, we know we're deplatformed. Yes, we know we're demonized because we're pro-human leaders. Yes, we know the power structure is scared. But I see this all over Instagram, all over Twitter, on the street. Every time I go out, people go, man, I used to be a really big listener. Are you still on air? Only a minority of our hardcore, really smart people go to Infowars.com or go to your website or understand that they're the ones that have got to get the clips and get them out on their own platforms or on the establishment's platforms. So I know people watching today are like, well, that's common sense. You know, I tell everybody, about Tate's website or Alex Jones's website, but this is a war. The propaganda wouldn't be necessary if the situation was hopeless. If the situation was dire and it couldn't be turned around and they'd already won, then they wouldn't need to censor us. No. Freedom is incredibly popular, and it's our destiny. And just because evil always tries to take full control and create monopolies doesn't mean it's going to win. In fact, it always destroys itself. So we need to get pre-positioned, as you said, on the upward arc. I believe we're going to get into better times soon. We have to get pre-positioned and realize even the sociopaths out there that keep going along with tyranny, they'd get way further ahead going against the system. And I think that's going to be the biggest part of the tipping point we've already reached. Not just good people saying no, but even people that are just mercenaries saying, this is a destructive system, this isn't empowering me. So on those 2 points, I know you've got several websites and we put them on screen, but it's critical that everyone say, we're all Andrew Tate, we're all Alex Jones.
We are all SNEAKO. We are all SNEAKO. Gay pride flag in chat. Drink prime. Sugar. Poison. Yum. Yum. Time to go to Walmart. I like to throw it back on TikTok. I'm going to put my 12-year-old on TikTok. My 12-year-old kid is going to have gender-affirming therapy. I'm going to let my wife make all the decisions. SNEAKO, SNEAKO, SNEAKO. Susan is good. Logan Paul is my favorite. Yes, yes, yes. KSI, ha, ha, ha. I like when you encourage prawn for 12-year-old boys. Yes, 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 yes. I am trans now. SNEAKO, SNEAKO.
We are all going to promote what is being attacked by the enemy because we know whatever they're attacking is the antidote to the poison. So I'm going to ask all the viewers and listeners, take this interview and share it. Go to Andrew's website. Go to my site. Share these clips. Take clips out. Show it to your employees. Show it to your boss. Show it to your church. Show it to everybody because this is what the bad guys don't want you to know. That means it's got to be magnified and amplified. So again, the best site for people to visit.
Yeah, absolutely. You're completely right. The enemy wants
Remember that you can take this whole stream and post it on TikTok. Show them that I'm trans now. Sneakita, sneakita. Go viral on TikTok easily with my clips. Yes, yes, prime, yes, prawn, good, trans. Meg the Stallion, feminism, women are oppressed. Men have all the power. Misogynist.
You to be lethargic, lazy, and perhaps even distracted with their bullshit entertainment. They don't want you to get out there and do the real groundwork of educating other people and waking them up. And you're right, this is a war, and that's the most important thing that people can do. I can be reached at cobratate.com. You can go there and sign up to my email list. It's completely and utterly free, where I send out a daily email on world events. I recommend everybody get to cobratate.com first. I have some other products on there. I have the War Room, which is my private network for people who think exactly like I do, 5,000 people all around the world, which is the War Room. It can be accessed through the website. But cobratate.com for now, the mailing list is free, and I look forward to speaking to people on there, and I keep the whole world updated with my life.
All right, we got about 6-7 minutes left, and you got to jump on a plane, and I've got to do my Thursday show. We're going to be airing this on the Monday show and post.
Chat, the Creativity Kit is where I have regular Discord calls. Tomorrow we got a call at 4 p.m. Jordan Welch is pulling up. We're having a big finance talk. Somebody who is a young entrepreneur, who's made a lot of money. He's a young millionaire. He has a great YouTube channel. He's smarter than me. He's been helping advise the Creativity Kit. Now I'm going to have him on a call. So 4 p.m. tomorrow. Remember to tune in for that on the Creativity Kit. The Discord section is where you can find it. We're having a networking call. And so I stream every single day. Patreon.com/SNEAKO. You know where to fucking go. You know the vibes. My main channel just posted a documentary, all that.
It to band.video. And so that's the coordinates of victory, folks. Don't wait for orders from headquarters. Go to the sound of the guns, as George Washington said back during the Revolutionary War. We are going to win this thing together. Your brother, there was a clip I played a few weeks ago on the show, right when you first got banned, where he read a Bible.
Also, chat, we have Tristan Tate coming on Thursday for a big interview. So remember, 5 p.m. on Thursday, Tristan Tate is coming on. Bring some questions. Be prepared. Last time I had Tristan Tate, we had a lot of terrible questions, but I want to have a good high IQ discussion. I don't just want to talk about low-level bullshit. I'm going to be able to find a way to tune it down. And Tristan Tate is a violent misogynist. I disagree with everything he says. He's a bad person. He should be canceled too. He's very bad, but I want to call him and disagree with him. But make sure to come with good questions on Thursday, 4 p.m. with Tristan Tate.
Verse on air. And literally said, this is full mobilization. Everybody's got to go to Rumble. You're also done a deal with Rumble. That's beautiful. That's all exploding.
When I say switch to Rumble, let me hit you with Matthew 7:24-7. Everyone who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell and the floods came and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall because it had been founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like the foolish man who built his house on the sand, and the rain fell and the floods came and the wind blew and beat against the house and it fell, and a great fall it was. Start today, move to Rumble, move your social media.
SNEAKO live on Rumble.
To get her, let's get on these apps that are run by real men who want to hear discourse, who want to hear different people's opinions, different people's points of view. And this is the future of the internet.
What's beautiful about genetics, but also then will and leadership, your dad being world champion chess player and so much more, is the left acts like physical brawn means you're stupid. But in my experience, I found a lot of times the most physically prowess people also are the greatest mental prowess. But it's just beautiful to know that it's not just we got Andrew Tate, but then we've got your brother who is, I think, just as articulate and amazing as him. And so it's almost like a double head hydra. And can you speak to trying to boost and magnify your brother, who's already a big top fighter and so much more? Let's talk about your brother.
Yeah, absolutely. My brother's an amazing man. He's the best brother anyone could ever reach for.
W. Tristan Tate. Hope he feels better soon. His face is messed up right now from fights. That's why I wasn't able to do the stream today, but he's going to get better real soon.
And we have an extremely close relationship. That's something else that the Matrix tries to do. It tries to separate brothers from one another, and it tries to separate men from one another. There's nothing wrong with men having an affinity with each other and working together. The way of man has always been to be in war, to be in armies, to be in gangs, to be in clans. This is how men have always been. This is how we operate the best. This is how we keep each other in check. That's where we bring out our best powers and prowesses. And I often say to men out there, that's what the war room's for, to find other men on your wavelength, healthy competition, to test each other, to challenge each other, and to bring out the best of one another. And they want you isolated as a man, because when you're isolated, you don't have so much power. The lone wolf, the idea of Rambo being all by himself and being lone wolf, is a bit of a fallacy. You need a team, you need a network, you need people who are on your side, people who support you, people who understand you and where you're trying to go. That's what the War Room's doing in a digital form. But my brother and I, in the real world, yeah, we're the closest we could ever be. And he's an amazing guy, and I know he'd love to come on the show and talk to you as well.
I'd love to get him on, so just name the time, or I need to get in touch with him. I know he gave me his number, but I've never gotten in contact with him. I should. But what you said is key here, and we're reaching this point where it's like Fight Club. I haven't talked to you about this before we went on air, but I would imagine you're getting way more support, way more high fives from people everywhere now that it's 100% clear that you're the enemy of the establishment. So there's a paradox. As long as people support us and boost us, we'll just become more effective for humanity. So people shouldn't buy into the lies that just because the enemy attacks you, that means you're losing. When in truth, as long as we keep fighting, we're going to win.
Absolutely. They've martyred us, and they proved us completely and utterly right. They proved us right. Now no one can come along and say we're incorrect anymore. They can maybe able to come along and say, well, we're not on platforms. That's fine, but we're certainly and utterly correct. And in the long run, God rewards those who live with the true heart and speak the truth.
All right, a few other big topics I want to hit with you. What is Europe going to do as they try to bring in new lockdowns, as they say flatten the curve by cutting your power off, don't take showers anymore? How does that tie into blaming Russia? I'm not a Russophile. I'm not blindly supporting Putin. I know what he is, but the West admits they overthrew the government 8 years ago in Ukraine, put weapons in. I know special forces that have been there, training people to kill Russians in the ongoing war over the last 8 years. I know Green Berets, I know Navy SEALs that have been there helping kill Russians, and they don't even like what's happening. But they've been over there under orders for 8 years, killing Russians to get Putin to finally come in. How do you see this ending? How is the war really going? How does all this unfold? Because they put huge sanctions on Russia for 6-7 months, and then Russia finally put sanctions back, and they're claiming the power is being cut off because of the Russians. The Germans turned off all their nuclear power plants. The Germans cut down the gas pipelines. Northern Europe's got more gas than the U.S. They won't pump it. I mean, it's the left cutting the energy off, not Vladimir Putin. It's the left starting the fight with Russia. So that should just stall, but your take on all that.
No, you're completely and utterly right. And it's actually going to be a rude awakening for these idealists to be snapped into the real world. All these people who have Ukraine flags on their Instagram bio are now not going to be able to afford their own energy bills. And you're going to learn that realism and the real world, if you ignore it for long enough, has a habit of coming back and slapping you in the face. All of the politicians in Europe have seemed to forget about their own constituents, to just be obsessed with somehow fighting an unwinnable war in Ukraine and some other country. And the populations are starting to have enough of it. We don't want you to fight an unwinnable war on some faraway land. We want hot water in our house. That's why we elected you. And how long are you going to ignore our needs and continue to talk about some other war in some other place? People are starting to wake up.
The head of the German economy.
Ukraine flag in bio is the #1 side of bot. I agree with what Twitter tells me to.
That economy minister said yesterday, get used to not having craft small businesses. You're not going to be open anymore because of energy. Only big businesses are. Same thing they did with COVID. It is a direct open war. Then one of the top German ministers said, we don't care what the voters want. We're going to war with Russia. So just in closing, where do you see that hubris going, and how do you see this Ukraine situation that's so dangerous ending? Or where is the way out of this?
The way out, which the West do not want to accept, is that the war is unwinnable and they need to sit with Putin and agree to some terms and to stop being tyrannical and stop trying to put weapon systems on the border and stop trying to expand NATO. The way out is for the West to finally accept that they've been wrong and to just to do a deal with Putin and allow a certain degree of Ukraine to
Can't put your ego to the side and never do a deal with Putin. That's not going to happen. That's the only way out, though, right?
fall. The way out is going to be hard for them to accept because they've been preaching nothing but the opposite for so long. But as the populations run out of hot water, as the populations can't put gas in their cars, there's going to be mass civil unrest. And any politician who even cared about his own people wouldn't be concerned about the war in Ukraine. He'd be concerned about all the repercussions of it. These people are bought and sold, and they are dancing to some other tune coming from somewhere else, from high above, and they have been told to annihilate their own economies and destroy their own constituents to try and take part in a war which is completely and utterly unwinnable. And as more and more people realize that, there's going to be mass civil unrest in Europe in the coming months.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And if there already is massive unrest. And if the left thinks, as Schwab said, Klaus Schwab, they're going to parlay that into people accepting the Great Reset. No, you go to the rallies in the U.S., Canada, Brazil, Germany, France. Everybody's protesting Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, and the New World Order. I got to say this in closing. Andrew Tate, it is a real pleasure to be in the same league as you. I admire you. Your strength is my strength, and I appreciate what you've done, and it just feels good to be part of the Great Renaissance, the Great Awakening, not the Great Reset. And so, as Patrick Henry said, you know, those of you that want to serve tyranny, crouch down and lick the hand that feeds you. But as for me, give me liberty or give me death. And as Teddy Roosevelt
Alex Jones
said, it is the man in the arena, whether you win or you lose. That's the animating contest. That's the exhilaration. And we are the men in the arena. Andrew Tate, thanks for being strong. Look forward to having you on again very, very soon. It's a lot of amazing things that are going to be unfolding. And again, everybody should visit your website that's on screen right now and support what you're doing, because you, my friend, are among the few that are at the real tip of the spear. And together we're going to help lead humanity out of this tyranny back to the real human order and to the stars and beyond. Andrew Tate, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a powerful interview, one of the most important we've ever done. I hope you'll share it with everybody, and I hope you'll understand that we are the vanguard, the avant-garde, the front lines of this fight. And please support Mr. Tate, because even if he was a bad guy, the enemy's scared of him. He's a good guy, ladies and gentlemen, and I am fully in support of him. Please also realize my new book.
I want to read this book too. Chat, let's continue. I want to watch Gay Frogs, a deep dive.
This is Meredith. Can I help you?
Yeah, I have some questions about atrazine, a pesticide.
Okay.
Are they putting chemicals in the water to turn the frogs gay?
Is this a prank call?
No.
Okay.
Hey, it's been a while. If you follow me on Twitter, you might know that a few months ago I tweeted a sneak peek of what I've been working on. That's right, gay frogs. Why have I spent the last 3 months of my life researching gay frogs, you ask? Well, I love it when silly bullshit ends up being true. So was Alex Jones right about gay frogs? That's what we're going to investigate in this video here.
So don't just pay attention for when he gets canceled, for when he's in court, for when he makes one mistake, for when you investigate your whole life, or when you put your whole life into investigating conspiracy theories and to try to uncover the truth. You're going to be wrong once in a while. He was wrong, and now the only thing that the bots focus on is the one time he's in court, is the one time he's under pressure, because when you're speaking the truth, it makes them uncomfortable, and they attack the person instead of the system. So the fact that he was right about frogs being gay should wake you up. Why the fuck is this conspiracy true?
Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up! Wake up!
Snap out of it. Snap out of it. You have been under cult brainwashing. Come out of it. You've got to get moving. You've got to get aggressive. You've got to get mad. You've got to get focused. You've got to get crazed. You got to get motivated, man. We are under attack.
The date was October 16th, 2015. While ranting about a globalist takeover and leftist psyops, Alex Jones rapidly listed off ways in which he believes we are under chemical and biological attack.
Everything they give us is to hurt us. Shock claim, world's on the brink of 50-year ice age. Scientists claim zapping brains with magnets can treat belief in God. Yeah, so can giving somebody a lobotomy. Did parallel universe open up? 100-sea floating city filmed in skies above China. That's mainstream news. Was videotaped. And it's clearly a giant 500-yard tall, wide hologram.
Chat, drink bottled water. Drink good bottled water. Don't drink Dasani's bottled tap water. Don't drink that water coming out of the sink that the government is trying to tell you. New York City is encouraging. They have commercials now saying, drink New York City tap water. I never walk outside without drinking my New York City tap water. It's disgusting. They are trying to fucking make you weaker. They're turning the frogs gay with the water. Why would you want to drink that? Why does the government have commercials for tap water? Think about it. What the hell are they selling? How are they profiting off of that?
Now, there it is, the gay bomb. Look it up for yourself. I mean, this is what do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. And I'm not saying people didn't naturally have homosexual feelings. I'm not even getting into it, quite frankly. I mean, give me a break. You think I am like shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people? I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
You sound homophobic and misogynist and problematic. Why would you say that? You're triggering me. What, do you hate me or something?
Do you understand that? Serious crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
Something that struck me.
It is funny the way he's acting, but I understand his anger. He's been trying to uncover the truth for years and years and years and years, and the mainstream media just keeps calling him a liar. They keep saying he's putting on an act. They keep calling him a character. They say he's a grifter when he's trying to wake you up. I understand the frustration.
While watching the full broadcast was that although it's the quote,
"It's a gay bomb to turn the frogs gay," it's not fucking funny,
that Alex Jones is most known for, he spends no more than 10 seconds on the topic of gay frogs. He just sort of peppers it into his rant and moves on without offering any sort of explanation. I guess that's why it's so memorable, because it's baffling how angry he gets, and it just seems to come out of nowhere. If I was going to be able to find out whether or not he's right about chemicals in the water turning frogs gay, then I needed more context. Luckily, he clarified his statement to Vine sensation Logan Paul.
Now, is this the gay frog that you were talking
There's a reason Logan Paul starts with an L.
about?
No, this is not the atrazine gay frogs. By the way, you pull up major universities, folks, and I'm not against gay people. The point is that atrazine artificially demasculates men, it over-feminizes women, and causes cancer.
And where is that found? Where is the...
Also birth control. Birth control is the devil. A lot of what they promote as good and as woke and as it's destroying you. It's meant to fuck with your hormones.
Whatever.
The food, the water, everything.
You're saying
atrazine is basically in all of our tap water. It's in everything. We're just inundated in it.
So you believe
Don't believe me. Don't believe me. I was covering like 10 years ago a Berkeley study and then a South African study and a UT study going, wow, look, almost all the frogs don't now want females. They want to have sex with males who don't produce eggs, so the frogs are dying. And I said, it's making the frickin' frogs gay.
So the chemical that Alex Jones was referring to is called atrazine. It's used mostly on cornfields to eradicate broadleaves. Atrazine gets into the drinking water through agricultural runoff. An estimated 33 million Americans have been exposed to atrazine through their taps, according to data from water systems nationwide. In 2003, it was banned in the European Union. A wide range of studies have identified atrazine as a possible human carcinogen and an endocrine disruptor. In frogs, it's been associated with increased estrogen production, decreased fertility, gonadal deformities, altered sex ratios, complete sex reversal, and hermaphroditism. In 2002, a Berkeley endocrinologist named Dr. Tyrone Hayes published a study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences called Hermaphroditic Demasculinized Frogs After Exposure to the Herbicide Atrazine at Low Ecologically Relevant Doses. Here's a clip I found of Dr. Tyrone Hayes explaining his work.
Hayes is testing the effects of chemicals like atrazine, a common herbicide.
We have a whole family of animals where we've eliminated the female chromosome.
Specimen 01.
These animals that we know are genetic males have been exposed to atrazine
That looks like a toy. Is that a real...
their entire life. And many of these genetic males now are turning into females.
I mean, pretty ironic with that earring, but... Trans frogs, man. Sneak the frogs is
You can
crazy,
see
bro.
he's got eggs that kind of look like they're in a sack. These are actually yolked eggs ready to be laid. What's happening is you're skewing sex ratios. You can get genetic bottlenecking, which can cause crashes. And quite frankly, if you're a genetic male, it'd be nice if you developed as a genetic male. And now we have a chemical very common in the environment that's effectively sex reversing animals.
So, does atrazine turn frogs gay? Honestly, there's not much evidence that it does.
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Maybe he's just crazy, Chad. Actually, no, I think he's just a wild conspiracy theorist. I think he's homophobic and transphobic and misogynist.
I'm kind of retarded.
Although Hayes has reported such findings, he's never published any research about gay frogs. Instead of gay frogs, his published research shows that low doses of atrazine can cause feminization of male frogs. Feminization refers to hermaphroditism, intersex, full sex reversal, and eggs inside of testes. Tyrone Hayes is known for studying the endocrine disrupting effects of atrazine, especially the feminizing and chemically castrating effects. He has published his peer-reviewed research to top-rated journals for decades now, and is a well-respected scientist and professor, so why not believe him? Well, that's because on Wikipedia it says that no one has been able to replicate his work. Additionally, it says that the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, as well as the Australian Pesticides and Veterinary Medicines Authority, reviewed his work and concluded that atrazine doesn't negatively impact amphibians.
Well, Tyrone Hayes had research that showed that, like, it feminizes frogs, so he was finding intersex frogs and,
Yeah, I'm familiar with his research, actually, but it was never able to be...
Actually, maybe that's just how the frog identifies. Maybe that's the frog's truth, and you're not accepting it. Okay? Frogita.
verified, so I think that people are not really sure what exactly the element was in his experiments that were causing that sex changeover. But I mean, it's definitely interesting, and you know, people have, numerous researchers have attempted to, you know, re-verify his results, but they have not been able to.
Now, this seemed strange to me. From what I knew from my own research, there are plenty of studies showing that atrazine does in fact have adverse effects on amphibians. So is it possible that these two regulatory agencies are wrong? To find out more, I contacted 3 scientists, all of whom were on the EPA Scientific Advisory Panel during the risk assessment of atrazine. Their names are Daniel Schlenk.
I had a different guy call me up one day and say, "Dude, am I gonna turn into..."
Dude, literally, dude, are the frogs gay?
"To a girl?"
Jason Rohr.
I just happened to focus in on atrazine early in my career because it regularly produced results that were different from the traits of animals in my control treatments.
And David Skelly.
So, for your own field studies, you found hermaphroditic frogs in suburbia, right?
Oh, yeah.
In our meta-analysis, I believe that we did find support. It just wasn't always consistent. But that was also almost certainly a function of the fact that the feminization results drew much, much more attention from Syngenta. Syngenta wasn't a fan of Tyrone. Tyrone wasn't a fan of Syngenta. And so I think there was a lot more effort being put by Syngenta to come up with counter examples to Tyrone's studies. There are data suggesting that atrazine may have effects on reproductive organs in humans, and so frogs are not humans, but they are vertebrates. They have a lot of similar traits as humans. Not all, but there are some similar traits. And
he dancing around it.
I think Syngenta was very worried that there might be concerns that humans might have offspring that either have both types of gonads, ovaries and testes, or that their male offspring would have female traits. And I think that's a scary thing for a lot of parents. And
he knows the truth, and he's just really trying to play it safe like a politician.
Unquestionably something that Syngenta would want to avoid.
Do I think that Syngenta was concerned about the PR outfall? I cannot tell you, but I can tell you what they did, and what they did was they tried to really destroy his career, in my opinion.
So they were afraid.
And I think that was really wrong. It totally affected the way he did science. It totally affected his lab. I mean, I don't think he took any graduate students after that because he was afraid for what that would do to their careers because they came out of his lab. I mean, it's very common for industry to fight back on results that show something damaging.
In this video, I'm going to explain to you why the EPA's conclusion that atrazine has no adverse effects is purposely misleading. But first, let's start from the beginning. The year was 1997, and Tyrone Hayes was kind of a hotshot. After developing a screening test which detected hormonal disruption, his work caught the eyes of Syngenta, who contracted his laboratory through a financial conduit called EcoRisk to examine the endocrine disrupting effects of atrazine on amphibians. After running some experiments, Tyrone Hayes found that atrazine could disrupt the sexual development of frogs, starting at doses as low as 0.1 parts per billion.
So at any rate, we did some studies where we just exposed frogs to ecologically relevant, to levels of atrazine that you might find in the environment. And we literally just asked, our hypothesis was, does it do anything?
In laboratory studies, Hayes observed reduced larynxes in 80% of male frogs. And
this is the craziest shit I've ever heard, and it's true, and it just proves the fact that why is the government putting this in the water? Why are they trying to turn us gay? That's what this proves.
20% of them developed into hermaphrodites with both testes and ovaries.
Here's testis, which males should have. Then this guy's got some ovaries. He's got another large testis. He's got some more ovary. There's a whole party going on in there. He ain't even got to leave the house. But that's not normal. All I mean is that frogs are not naturally hermaphroditic. And people get confused. Somebody always asks me, aren't frogs naturally hermaphroditic? Who knows where that comes from? Jurassic Park, yeah, somebody always. So apparently in the Jurassic Park, frog DNA made the dinosaurs change sex. That's science fiction.
You know who kind of looks like a frog? YouTube should ban SNEAKO. It looked like a little frog peeking out of that petri dish. Okay, my bad.
When Hayes shared his work with Syngenta, he says that they tried to stall his progress and bury his results. According to him, they cut his funding, brought in statisticians to nitpick his data, refused to share his research with the EPA, and frequently said that there needed to be further testing.
And then it seemed like they were trying to slow down the progress, and because with each set of samples that we analyzed, the problem got.
He looked like he was drinking a lot of that water. I ain't gonna lie, Bo, but that water, you got some cool drip. Even though the fingernails, the earrings, shit like that, you would drink a lot of tap water, decent drip.
Of course, it didn't get better. And then eventually...
Chat, W drip, tell me. I'm saying W drip. I know it's different, you guys, but yeah, okay,
then they
you do the
asked
thing.
me to manipulate the data in ways that were inappropriate to try to make it go away. And at that point, I quit. At that point, I left the contract.
He claims that Syngenta offered him $2 million to stay and conduct his research in private, but that he refused. After collecting funding, Hayes conducted studies in his lab and on the field. 2 years later, he published his work in 2 prestigious journals, Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences and Nature. Syngenta Crop Protection retaliated by going into full damage control mode. They funded studies and put out a press release claiming that 3 separate studies by university scientists have failed to replicate his work. At the same time, there were other studies being published which backed up Hayes' findings that atrazine is an endocrine disruptor. In 2002, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency announced that it would conduct a risk assessment to assess atrazine's eligibility for re-registration. This took place around the same time that Tyrone Hayes published his research. Under a consent decree issued in court by the Natural Resources Defense Council, the EPA was required to review the available literature on atrazine's effects on amphibians and to convene a scientific advisory panel made up of independent scientists to help evaluate and peer-review studies. The EPA's risk assessment was largely focused on one question: at what concentrations does atrazine have adverse effects to amphibian gonadal development, and is it below ecologically relevant levels? There were 2 official risk assessments of atrazine's effects on amphibians in total, one in 2003 and the final one in 2007. During both of these risk assessments, the EPA did everything in its power to aid the primary registrant of atrazine, Syngenta, in keeping atrazine on the market. Let me explain how. During the first risk assessment in 2003, the EPA's review wasn't comprehensive. It was limited to 17 studies in total. Out of those 17 studies, 12 of them were funded by Syngenta, and only 2 of them found no adverse effects. After reviewing these studies, the EPA concluded that although there is sufficient evidence to formulate a hypothesis that atrazine exposure may impact gonadal development of amphibians, there is currently insufficient data to confirm or refute the hypothesis.
Misinformation.
Okay, so here's where the fuckery starts. Then the EPA said that they required additional studies, especially one that could replicate Tyrone Hayes' research. And guess who they relied on to conduct these studies?
Someone from atrazine.
Well, Syngenta Crop Protection, of course. Not only was Syngenta responsible for testing its own product, it also put together a list of good laboratory practices, which all studies subsequently had to follow in order to be considered by the EPA. The EPA even admits in its 2007 amphibian white paper that it was Syngenta who provided the agency with the signed and finalized version of this.
This is why you can't believe a bunch of these studies and everything. Well, where does the science go to back it up? This is proof that all science and all data can be manipulated very easily.
Study protocol. Sure, the EPA made decisions here and there, but they pretty much just left it up to Syngenta to create these test protocols based on their recommendations. This occurred after a former tobacco lobbyist and anti-regulation czar named Jim Tozy used a 2-sentence rider called the Data Quality Act, which he authored, by the way. and he used it to throw a wrench into the EPA's regulatory process of atrazine. The Data Quality Act is often used by special interest groups to challenge the legitimacy of scientific studies, which is exactly what happened in the case of atrazine. Citing the Data Quality Act, Tozy petitioned the EPA saying two things. One, that they don't have validated test methods for determining whether or not atrazine causes endocrine disruption. Two, he wrongly argued that the findings that atrazine caused endocrine effects had not been reproduced in any other studies. Anyway, so, the EPA then told Syngenta to create the testing methods and to conduct their own studies. After running two parallel tests and submitting them as one study, Syngenta returned to the EPA with the results. And lo and behold, Syngenta found that atrazine had no
Atrazine is perfect for you.
adverse effects. Because Syngenta collaborated with the EPA in designing the good laboratory practice protocols for assessing hormonal disruption in frogs, the EPA then said that every study has to follow those protocols, and any study that doesn't is going to be thrown out. The Environmental Protection Agency then threw out every single study in the open literature because they did not meet those good laboratory practice protocols. Even studies conducted before the good laboratory practice guidelines were set by Syngenta were retroactively considered to be either qualitative or invalid by the EPA. That's 36 studies in total, which suddenly don't meet the criteria to be considered robust enough to be...
See, they can decide what's misinformation, and they can decide what they want to push as the truth.
...used to make a regulatory decision.
You got to really make your own conclusions now. You got to look at cross-examine. You have to look at different sources. You got to look at different scientists, because look how easily it is for them to manipulate all of it.
And the only reason they weren't considered robust enough is because they didn't follow these protocols made by Syngenta. So in the end, before the EPA made their conclusion in 2007, only one study remained that was considered to be quantitative and eligible to be the basis of a regulatory decision. And that study was funded by Syngenta Crop Protection.
What we could talk about for a minute that might be helpful, though, is this good laboratory practice business.
Yeah. So explain that.
Well, I evidently don't do good laboratory practice. What it's allowed industry and kind of naysayer people to say is, well, they don't do good laboratory work. We do.
It's a misnomer, right?
What's that?
It's a misnomer. To call it good laboratory practices when it's just checks and balances, basically. So they don't...
Yeah, it's being used to tar and feather people who don't have the money to do the work the way that industry does. But the fact of the matter is that you can do everything that it says in a good laboratory practice manual and have garbage signs.
So on the basis of a single Syngenta-funded study, which was a complete outlier finding virtually no adverse effects even at high doses of atrazine, the EPA concluded in 2007 that atrazine causes no adverse effects on frogs and that no additional testing was warranted to address the issue. EPA convened a scientific advisory panel made up of independent experts to help them form a conclusion. However, the EPA didn't really have to accept their advice, and a lot of their advice was not even considered. In 2016, the EPA released a draft of their refined ecological risk assessment for atrazine. Unlike in 2007, where their conclusion was formed on the basis of a single Syngenta-funded study, in 2016 they included 55 studies from the open literature that were previously designated as qualitative and therefore dismissed. Based on a weight of evidence analysis which included these studies, they concluded that atrazine has possible risk to the metamorphosis, growth, and sexual development of amphibians. So at least they eventually acknowledged it. Yet on their website, it still says that atrazine has no adverse effects.
Stop the caps!
Same goes for Syngenta, who still touts the EPA's 2007 conclusion as scientific fact. In 2007, they determined it a closed discussion. Like, we're not going to look into it anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
I heard about that.
In that case, it just seems like...
Yeah, I was not very happy there. I disagree with that approach. That's my opinion on that. In fact, I was a little bit upset that they didn't adhere to our recommendation to do multiple species and include the weight of evidence. But we're there to provide advice. They're there to make the decision.
I remember the result very well. I don't think anybody on the panel, certainly I wasn't very happy with the idea that EPA hadn't funded the studies themselves and done them. You know, the EPA has a beautiful laboratory in Duluth where they do exposure studies. I have no idea why, and you know, in aquatic systems, I know some of the people who work there. I don't know why on earth they didn't have those people do that work. I have nothing to tell you. I don't get it.
There is no valid reason.
It didn't make sense, you know, it felt absolutely wrong that they had done it this way.
Is it common practice for the EPA to require multiple labs to replicate the findings of a single lab? I would say no, because it only used a single Syngenta-funded study to evaluate the safety of atrazine. If they want to apply that policy to Tyrone, then
think about it. Ladion the bot says fuck Tyrone.
It should be evenly applied to the Syngenta study, and they should have had an independent third party evaluate whether they could replicate the findings of Syngenta. So I don't know the answer definitively, but if they're going to have that be a policy, and I'm not saying that...
That's not my Wi-Fi, that's his shitty Zoom call. Susan's trying to block it from him giving out this information.
It shouldn't be. I think it would be a reasonable policy. It needs to be evenly applied to industry as well as to academics.
One more time.
Industry as well as to academics.
Basically, he's uncomfortably saying that they're lying.
So we find out, and this is happening to you, so you're aware of it, where it becomes more broadly known as in a lawsuit, a class action suit against Syngenta in 2012, which they eventually settled for over $100 million with communities in Illinois over water. But in that process, in the discovery process, the notes of Syngenta and their records become public, and we find there that they, that they had written down and had records. And I was going through some of that, and it says they made a list of ways to discredit you, and those lists included: have your work audited, ask journals to retract your articles, and this is all.
They probably called him crazy too, right?
Their language. Set trap to entice him
That's
to
my
sue.
favorite. Set a trap. Who writes that down, right? Set a trap.
Set trap.
It's like Bugs Bunny Road.
Yeah, no one will ever read this. Investigate your funding and even investigate your wife.
Jesus Christ, bro.
In 2011, Syngenta's internal documents were released by the Madison County Circuit Court in response to a Freedom of Information Act request by investigative journalist Claire Howard. These documents showed that Syngenta discussed ways...
Chad, how are people not having their minds blown by this information? We look at the same mainstream news every day. American water makes you gay! The tap water makes you gay! Literally! What? Did you hear that? You heard that? Susan? How is this not making everybody run around screaming right now, going, I'm gay! I'm gay! The water makes you gay!
Ways to destroy Tyrone Hayes' career and credibility. Strategies included investigate his wife, tap his phone calls, set him up.
Just like they did with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they just start aggressively investigating people who start revealing the truth.
Purchase Tyrone Hayes as a search word on the internet and direct searches to their own marketing materials, offer him unlimited research funds, and the commissioning of a psychiatric profile on Hayes, which refers to Hayes as a paranoid schizo and narcissist.
There you go, I called it, chat. A paranoid schizo narcissist. Every time people start revealing the truth, they label you as a narcissistic, crazy, misogynistic, therapeutic, all these fucking nonsense words. They go at your mental health instead of the info that you're trying to spread. So pay attention when you get people start labeling these basic ass words, these low level bot words to people who are exposing the truth. Wake the fuck up. A paranoid schizo narcissist because he's studying? Because he's exposing the lies in science? Fuck, bro. It's so repetitive. Over and over again in history. And all the fucking bots play along to this game. Unknowingly being servants of lies.
Notes from one memo reads, if TH, Tyrone Hayes, is involved in a scandal, the Enviros will drop him. Another note read, can prevent citing of Tyrone Hayes' data by revealing him as non-credible. Additionally, Syngenta hired a detective agency to investigate scientists on the EPA's scientific advisory panel. They looked into the personal life of a judge, and they paid 130 experts to appear as independent supporters
bribe
without disclosing ties to the company. Syngenta's internal documents show that they routinely paid these experts to appear in the media and support the safety of atrazine. Documents show that people on this list were coached, and that their statements in support of atrazine were edited by the company. Court documents include an email
oh, but the sources state, oh, all the medical information support this. You see what they do to the water that makes you gay? All of this shit is manipulated. Whatever information they want to spread, they will spread. You can't believe everything just because a company put it on a piece of paper. What the fuck?
Dated October 28, 2009, from a Syngenta employee asking her boss how to pay these third-party allies who write in support of atrazine. Don Corsi, a Meritech professor of public policy at the University of Chicago, who received $500 an hour from Syngenta to make media appearances supporting the necessity of atrazine. Stephen Milloy, publisher of JunkScience.com and president of Citizens for the Integrity of Science, was also in Syngenta's support of third-party stakeholders database. In a letter dated August 6, 2008, Milloy requested a $25,000 grant for the nonprofit Free Enterprise Project of the National Center for Public Policy Research. He writes, "Send the check to me as usual, and I'll take care of it." A PR company called the White House Writers Group, based in Washington, D.C., received more than $1.6 million in 2010 and 2011 to write op-ed pieces in favor of atrazine.
$1.6 million! To write positive reviews about shit that makes you gay. You see what I'm saying? Well, Big Pharma said it's good. I have to be really careful what I talk about, bro. But you can apply all this logic to that. They fund whatever information they want you to believe.
Another PR firm called Jane Thomas and Associates, which is based in Chicago, devised a plan to send trained critics to Tyrone Hayes' speaking events to disrupt, intimidate him, and question his science. If you want to learn more about Syngenta's secret campaign, I'm mostly citing from a website called 100 Reporters from an article by Claire Howard. You can find that in the description box below. Before I end this video, I need to address a certain elephant in the room, and that's the question of Hayes' credibility. When I first started working on this topic, I watched a 3-part series from a YouTuber and skeptic named Miles Power. In his video, he says that Hayes never provided data to the EPA. And it's not really surprising because if you look at Miles Power's sources, you'll see that most of them come from known agrochemical company shills, or just straight from Syngenta's website.
Sparkling water.
Here's what Hayes says about his data.
At this point, I was talking to the EPA. EPA, you read some weird stuff online, said I never shared my data. The EPA was in my lab watching me collect data. They had a statistician who reanalyzed all of my raw data. They were right there. The company made that stuff up.
Now, I can't prove that Hayes shared his data, but I can show you why I suspect that this is a misleading talking point manufactured by Syngenta's PR team with the help of some members of the EPA. This point stems from a statement made by an EPA representative in 2005 named Ann Lindsay, while she testified before the Agricultural and Rural Development Committee of the Minnesota House of Representatives. She said, quote, "Dr. Hayes claims that not only his laboratory has repeated the findings many times in experiments with thousands of frogs, but that other scientists have also replicated his results. EPA, however, has never seen either the results from any independent investigator published in peer-reviewed scientific journals or the raw data from Dr. Hayes' additional experiments." Now, this seems pretty damning until you realize that within her same testimony, she said, quote, "Dr. Hayes published the first report of his scientific research in 2002. In 2003, EPA began to collect all scientific studies that examined the potential effects of atrazine on various species of frogs, including all of the studies published by Tyrone Hayes. As part of its efforts to understand the available data, EPA scientists visited Dr. Tyrone Hayes' lab and reviewed some of his raw data. So I mean, which is it? Now here's something suspicious that I found. While I was looking through Syngenta's internal documents, I noticed Ann Lindsay's name written 3 times. As you can see here, it says, "Check if we sent Lindsay testimony." On another page it says, "Is Ann Lindsay prepared to speak to reporters?" And again,
this guy did his research, man. Shout out to Oki's Weird Stories.
testimony. Of course, I'm speculating here, but I don't know, it seems very fishy. In 2010, the US EPA wrote to Dave Winters, a state representative who requested clarification about Tyrone Hayes' data. In this letter, the EPA said, quote, "In your letter, you asked whether EPA received from Dr. Hayes a complete, transparent set of raw data which could be interpreted and analyzed by the EPA and used in generating a full evaluation of his work. In addition, you asked whether EPA was in agreement with Dr. Hayes' findings. In response to your first question, I regret that the EPA science staff in the Office of Pesticide Programs, EFED, could not properly account for the sample sizes and study design reportedly used by the Berkeley researchers. As a result, we were unable to complete any independent analysis to support the study's conclusions." This letter does not say that Hayes refused to provide his data. It says that the EPA was unable to properly account for the sample sizes or experimental design. It is a statement which is intentionally vague and allows for multiple interpretations, some sinister and some mundane. It can refer either to the reproducibility of Hayes' results or the ability of the EPA to replicate those results. But nowhere does it say that he refused to share his results. In other words, it's a diplomatic way of saying that they did not attempt to replicate his experiment, but that there are other experiments which may or may have not contradicted Hayes' results. Hayes' research and hermaphroditic frogs are a small part of a much larger story. For the sake of time, I left out a lot of things, such as the carcinogenic effects of atrazine, the class action lawsuit in 2010, which Syngenta lost because of persistent
So it doesn't just make you gay, it fucks with your heart?
Atrazine contamination.
What is this? Swiss companies... herbicides is contaminated drinking water. It's just poison.
Drinking water.
Wait, it's popular in weed killer too?
And I didn't even get to talk about how atrazine exposure is associated...
Micropenis! Micropenis!
with higher rates of micropenises in boys. When I embarked on this journey to see if Alex Jones was right about gay frogs, I didn't know at the time that it would reveal itself to be a complex tale of corporate malfeasance, bureaucratic corruption, and science.
Yo, shout out to Oki's Weird Stories. You did great research in this video. I really appreciate this. We learned a lot. This was educational. If you have more videos like this, I'm going to check it out. Shout out to Oki's Weird Stories. And Musa, make sure that his link is top of the description when I post his reaction.
Scientific manipulation.
Please.
So here's what I learned. First, for Alex Jones' statement about gay frogs to be right, he should have said, the herbicide atrazine gets into the water through agricultural runoff and sometimes turns frogs into hermaphrodites. Although I suppose that's not as memorable as...
They're turning the freaking frogs gay! I don't like it. The globalist agenda is turning the freaking frogs gay! Wake the fuck up! America, wake up! The globalist agenda is killing you! They're turning the freaking frogs gay! I'm sick of it! That was better. But then people say, he's crazy, he's playing a character. They're turning the freaking frogs gay!
Putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay!
Second, I learned a lot about the product defense industry, which specializes in scientific uncertainty campaigns. If a product is on the market and scientific studies are published showing that it has adverse effects, what typically happens is that the registrant of that product will try to delay regulation for as long as they possibly can. In doing so, they will manufacture doubt by commissioning their own contradictory studies, which they then show to policymakers as proof that the science is still uncertain. Then policymakers will often aid industry by giving them their stamp of approval, while assuring the public that they've tested the product and deemed it safe. This is business as usual. Just look into the ineffectual regulatory history of DDT, Teflon, climate change, or fracking. There are multiple layers to this issue. It's not just that corporations are bad and evil, man. Really, it's systemic. Federal agencies like the EPA are in the pockets of big corporations. Legislation is enacted that enables business interests.
Oh, basically, yeah, corporations are bad, man. That's what you're saying, just in long form.
To slow or prevent regulation completely, such as the Halliburton loophole, which made fracking exempt from regulation by the EPA. Unethical scientists are willing to aid corporations in distorting the truth by producing studies not meant to advance science, but instead to support companies in policy and legal quagmires. And much of the general public doesn't have the time or expertise to know what's safe or who to trust. Truth is central to this story. I'm not an activist, and I don't even think that atrazine should be banned. My issue is...
Really? After all that, you don't think atrazine... What's the benefits of atrazine, then?
Blatant dishonesty.
Can you respond in the chat? You're here right now. Blatant dishonesty. But why are you not against atrazine after all this?
When institutions lie to us, who can we rely on to expose the truth? If
The turn of the freaking frog's gay! That's the most reliable news source.
regulatory bodies like the EPA are so compromised by political and financial conflicts of interest, who can we depend on to ensure that human interests don't take a backseat to economic growth and product sales? Additionally, how do we maintain the type of economic growth which our modern consumer lifestyles depend on without severe costs to human health and the environment? Sadly, I don't have the answers to these questions. After looking at this story and many similar to it, my opinion is that most corporations cannot be trusted to weigh public health over short-term financial gain.
So atrazine is bad! What the fuck?
Definitely shouldn't be solely relied on to
Name one positive right now. Okay, he said all herbicides are toxic. There's no way to use them without potential harm. So then don't use herbicides in the fucking water. And the government should not be promoting the water. In New York City right now, the mayor is saying, New York City, drink the tap water. Water's good for you. It makes your teeth white. It's fucking brainwashing. All herbicides are toxic? Okay, so then atrazine is bad, and they should tell people don't drink the tap water. Instead, the government is actively encouraging us to drink the tap water. It is bad. The turn of the freaking frog's gay!
the safety of their products. All I know now is that if a product poses a risk to the public, it's unlikely that most corporations will be forthright about it.
Let me begin my questioning on the matter of whether or not nicotine is addictive. Let me ask you first, and I'd like to just go down the row, whether each of you believes that nicotine is not addictive. I heard virtually all of you touch on it, and just yes or no. Do you believe nicotine is not addictive?
I believe nicotine is not addictive, yes.
Mr. Johnston.
Congressman, cigarettes and nicotine clearly do not meet the classic definitions of addiction. There is no intoxication.
We'll take that as a no, and again, time is short. If you could just, I think each of you believe nicotine is not addictive. We just would like to have...
They'll lie to make you dumber, weaker, and continue buying the products to use us as slaves and milk us of all of our natural souls and our natural energy. They don't give a fuck about you. Well, it keeps you safe when you do that, you fucking idiot. They make more money off of you.
Have this for the record.
I don't believe that nicotine or our products are addictive.
I believe nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
And I too believe that nicotine is not addictive.
Okay, so thanks for agreeing to talk to us. We have two clips prepared for you today. We're gonna.
She's like, who the fuck? Like, she's already afraid of you because I know Asian body language right now. Black men talking to me. What is this? Also, camera on me. Should I put the mask on? I can't believe you got an Asian woman to say yes to a street interview. That's the hardest demo to hit. You see that turn body language, bro? Yeah, she's afraid of you.
Show you the first one, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna ask you some questions about it. And then after that, we have a follow-up clip, and then I'm going to ask you some questions about that. So Mira is going to come here and show you the clip.
Okay, a nice, safe woman. You see the body language change? Now she stands closer. Now her shoulders are more rounded.
Yeah, there it is, the gay bomb. Look it up for yourself. I mean, this is what they're... What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. And I'm not saying people didn't naturally have homosexual feelings. I'm not even getting into it, quite frankly. I mean, give me a break. You think I'm like, shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people? I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay!
All right, good in there. Okay. All right. So can you tell me about what you just watched?
It was about gay bombs. And
gay bomb!
I don't... Turning the water gay? Like putting chemicals into the water?
No! Oh my god, you butt! How did you not get it from that video? Literally? Like, they're turning, like, literally, dude? Dude, literally the water's gay? No! No! Most people will never wake up. Most people will just be like, what? That's, like, kind of weird. Is someone gonna flirt with me? Come on!
Like, I don't understand.
He knows what he's talking about.
what he's saying is there's chemicals in the water. The government is putting chemicals in the water that are turning the freaking frogs gay.
What? That's crazy. That's a yikes for me. Not the water. Let's go get a White Claw.
I don't.
One more time, shout out to Oki's Weird Stories. This is great. Great video. One more time, can I do it? The turn of the freaking frogs gay! Okay, so what's next, chat? Another conspiracy video? Recycling is literally a scam! Ironically, in Minecraft, I don't know this against TOS.
So you're a plastic company. You've teamed up with oil companies to create a miracle product that can do pretty much anything. It's cheap, durable, easily accessible, and easy to mass produce. What more could you ask for?
I know, I feel like I'm dreaming.
And by the 1980s, you're in your prime. The only problem is plastics can't be destroyed. They just keep piling up and up and up. Now, this is actually not a problem for you. The more plastic that piles up means the more plastic you're selling.
They're turning the freaking trash gay!
But the real problem is the general public. See, the masses crave to feel that they're good people, that they're the righteous ones, the moral ones, fighting against evil. And polluting the planet with plastic trash that takes upwards of half a millennia to decompose makes you an easy target for the plebs. In their eyes, you're the evil scapegoats. So the general public starts protesting the plastics industry. Now, this is bad, because you know the success of anything, political movements, educational movements, businesses, entire industries, including the plastics industry, rely on the approval of the public. If the public turns on you, you're done. So you need to come up with a solution, something that would change the public's perception of plastic, something that will allow them to keep consuming plastic without feeling guilty about themselves for destroying the planet. The only problem is, most plastic is literally not recyclable. It's not just that you can't recycle plastic.
Chat, before we watch this video and before you get convinced, because I definitely am gonna get swayed, Jake Tran videos pretty much always make me agree with him. W or L? W being recycling's a scam. L saying no, save the environment, climate change is real, hug a tree. W, this shit is all a scam.
Is that the process to do so is so expensive and labor intensive that making new plastic will always be cheaper. So you settle on the next best thing. This is the recycling symbol created in 1970. And this is the resin identification code, a symbol created by the plastics industry in 1988. A symbol that's on almost every piece of plastic you buy today. Now, if you're saying to yourself that symbol looks shockingly similar to the official recycling symbol, you'd be correct, because that was by design. A design to intentionally deceive the general public into believing the plastic you buy is recyclable. Yes, recycling is a literal lie concocted by the plastics industry to sell you more plastic.
What?
And this is how it was pulled off. How much plastic could the world
possibly use? Oh, that's not so much. So? I had no idea.
You can even recycle your bicycle, cause all metals and plastics are recyclable. So reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Most of what makes...
I remember I went to this really wokey hug a tree school full of outdoor nature people, and I used to be like, recycling, schmalikling, it's just a bottle, I'm not gonna save the environment. If the earth is burning, what is one bottle gonna do? And I had all these hug a tree teachers, and I remember we had this day where it was like a barbecue and there were a bunch of cans, and then a lot of the kids put in the trash can, and one of the tree hugger teachers went head first, a dive into the trash can, digging around, rummaging like a fucking raccoon, trying to get all the cans one by one, and all the girls like, yes, queen, go, you're saving the environment, literally, dude. It's like, okay, I don't think that you're gonna save the polar bears.
People feel good about recycling is based on misinformation.
The biggest plastic manufacturer today is the Dow Chemical Company. The Dow Chemical Company has over $19 million.
Elad. The Dow Company, I'm Jake Tran, I have purple hair. Now you're cool though, shout out Jake Tran.
Upstart.com/Jake Tran. Use my link in the description.
Plastic.
plastic. What are plastics? Are they vegetable or mineral?
Plastic production started in the early 1900s. It was marketed as a material of 1,000 uses, and it was making money and gaining popularity slowly, but it was nowhere near its real earning potential. Then World War II hit, and since economic power was just as important as military power, wars aren't free after all, the government started prioritizing the production of this new material that wasn't just very useful, but also very profitable. You see, the military had to get money from somewhere to keep fighting the war, and plastic was an industry with a lot of potential just waiting to be exploited. So during World War II alone, plastic production in the US increased by 300%. Plastic took the place of steel in cars and warplanes, it replaced paper and glass packaging, and even wood furniture.
Plastics will play as large a role in peace as they do in war. Here is a plane containing hundreds of plastic parts. Here, another bonded by plastics. This paratrooper floating down to welcome Mother Earth is depending on plastics to get him there safely.
And since plastic is made from oil and natural gas products, plastic companies suddenly emerged from the oil giants like Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, and DuPont.
I love my plastics and a good old Lucky Strike and beating my wife at the end of the war.
And with the backing of the fossil fuel industry, there was nowhere to go but up. It's kinda hard to illustrate just how much of a game changer plastic was for companies. Imagine spending all these man hours machining these expensive materials like metal, wood, and glass for years and years and years. And then comes along this wonder material that was not only orders of magnitude cheaper, but could be molded into any shape and was durable. Everyone was using it for pretty much everything, from chairs to cheap jewelry to car parts. But because it was so durable and useful, these plebs started hanging onto their plastic products. They weren't throwing them away after one single use. This was a problem for you. If people reuse your plastic indefinitely, you can't make them a repeat buyer, which is where all the real money is at. So the plastic industry launched a massive campaign, millions of dollars worth of ads, encouraging people not
So is plastic reusable?
to be such unsophisticated peasants. Reusing dirty plastic? Ew. Just throw it away after one use, what's the harm? It's so cheap to replace, and it started to work. But then came the hippies. You see, not everyone saw the beauty in plastic as you did. And when they started noticing your ads telling everyone to just chuck out their plastic and buy new ones, the plastic industry became the prime target for destroying the environment, which led to America's first ever Earth Day holiday in 1970 to protest the use of plastic and other pollutants. 1 in 10 Americans took part. Now obviously, this number of people going up against your industry is not good. If everyone found out the extent of just how bad plastics were for the environment, how they can't be destroyed and how it kills animals, you would be out of business. So you concocted a genius plan. Instead of fighting the hippies, you would join them playing both sides.
I'm playing both sides so that I always come out on top.
So you, the other plastic companies, and the fossil fuel companies create a front organization called Keep America Beautiful. A very wholesome, inconspicuous name. And to kick things
I
up,
want to keep America beautiful.
You create the Crying Indian ad.
People start pollution. People can
Yeah, get him right in the white guilt.
stop it.
It's literally called the Crying Indian. I did not make that up. Hilariously, the Crying Indian was actually an Italian actor named Iron.
Oh my god! He looks like fucking Al Pacino. This dude, look at that Italian nose. Hey, oh, Baba da Boopy, Baba Ganoush.
As Cody.
I know Baba Ganoush is Greek, but hey, eat the cannoli with the fucking. This is. Look at the oh my god!
And apparently,
bro.
impersonating Native Americans was a specialty. This ad played on TVs all over America. And for a hot minute, it seemed like Earth
They play you like a fucking fiddle, bro!
Day protests were really making a difference. Here were the actual plastic companies telling people to stop littering and to be more conscious of the environment so the Indian doesn't cry. Sure, you could have spent the money finding
How does everyone think, oh, Indian means nature?
ways to make plastic more reusable.
It's not even an Indian, it's... That's like a 500-year-old white mistake. It's not even India, but it's just so funny how we're able to still use these old lies.
Why do that when you can just placate the masses by making it look like you're trying to change? And it worked. People started throwing their trash away, and it even helped start the very first few recycling plants. And those few recycling plants gave way to the best idea yet.
It just goes right back into the landfill too?
And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
By 1970, plastic products that were recyclable, like milk jugs and soda bottles, had the official recycling symbol stamped on them. That is good news. Plebs don't have to feel guilty anymore about buying plastic milk and soda bottles. The bad news is that milk and soda bottles make up just a tiny percentage of all the plastic out there, with most of it not being recyclable. But there is still hope.
What is most of it?
The public mind has now associated this symbol with being good for the planet. So
brainwashing.
All you have to do is latch onto that association. So you come up with your own version of the recycling symbol. You make the arrows a little bit thinner, you slap a number in the center of it, and then you lobby to slap this symbol onto every plastic product in existence. Here's the official recycling symbol, and here's the resin identification marker, or resin identification code, concocted by the plastic industry. There are 7 different resin identification codes, yet realistically, only 2 out of the 7 types of plastics can be recycled. But it worked. Consumers didn't know what these big numbers meant. All they saw was what looked like a recycling symbol. So they just assumed that all plastic products with this symbol were recyclable. Buying plastic no longer meant that they were destroying the planet. So they kept on consuming, when in reality you knew the truth. That plastic recycling would never work, that it would always be too expensive, that plastic degrades every time it was recycled, so it could only really be reused 2 or 3 times. But that didn't matter anymore, because the public's guilt was satisfied.
If the public thinks the recycling is working, then they're not going to be as concerned about the environment.
And although these codes should have made the life of recyclers easier in theory, because they can now easily separate what is recyclable from what isn't, it had the opposite effect. It made recycling almost impossible now, because people were throwing way more junk into the recycle bin.
In the US, we're recycling less than 50% of our bottles and cans. Join PepsiCo in the recycling of every last bottle and can.
PepsiCo, one of the biggest corporations in the world, right?
And the advertising campaigns didn't end there. Hundreds of ads, hundreds of campaigns, all encouraging people to recycle their plastics so they could protect the planet. One plastic lobbyist famously said, "What we need to do is advertise our way out of this." The bottle may look empty, yet it's anything but trash, says one ad from 1990, showing
I want somebody, J-Tran, make a video about how much BBLs are contributing into the plastic consumption.
Plastic bottle bouncing out of a garbage truck. It's full of potential. We've pioneered the country's largest, most comprehensive plastic recycling program to help plastic fill valuable uses and roles.
Do the right thing, it's an obligation, and your planet will thank you for your cooperation.
I'm reusing this plastic jug and making it into a funnel and a tool holder. Jars for nuts, bolts, screws, nails. Reuse it for the future. It's worth it.
These ads were made to look like they came from environmentalists, when in reality, it really came from the fossil fuel companies behind all this plastic in the first place.
Bomboka! Why?
Whenever the public became outraged, you would fund more recycling initiatives, and when the public died down, that funding was pulled. With all this advertising came the introduction of single-use plastics, like straws, shopping bags, bottled water. A material designed to last forever was being thrown away after one use. But don't worry, because you can recycle them, building up the industry's revenue to an insane $1.2 trillion a year. Cigarette companies and the Diamond Cartel are often credited as some of the greatest marketers of all time because of the feats they pulled off, but their practices eventually became somewhat well known to the public. But the plastic industry? Today, hardly anyone even knows about the ruse that was pulled off.
Some recycling makes sense. Reusing aluminum saves lots of energy.
But just about everything else is a scam.
I feel really dumb right now.
We all know the good that recycling does for Darwin and its environment, but a few simple mistakes can mean the difference between recycling right and wasting our recycling efforts. Putting plastic bags in the yellow bins, for example, can send tons of good recycling to landfill. So don't let our efforts go to waste. Learn to recycle for good.
Today, although more and more of the types of plastic can be recycled, it either costs way more money compared to just making more plastic, or the act of recycling itself is even worse for the environment. Paper recycling involves bleaching and de-inking, things that can pollute the environment even more. Transporting materials to recycling plants out of states can cause even more pollution than the recycling would make up
all the transportation and gas, right?
for.
all recycling isn't necessarily good and isn't necessarily environmentally benign. Well, I live in Bozeman, Montana, and in order to recycle glass bottles, we ship them down to Golden, Colorado.
And in places like LA, using 400 more garbage trucks to collect recyclable
Just put all of LA into a garbage truck, bro.
waste, most of it won't be recycled in the first place, just adds to air pollution and more taxes.
After Los Angeles mandated recycling, they discovered they needed another 400 garbage trucks to pick up the new container.
Today, less than 10% of all plastic is recycled. But the impressive part is that no one is the wiser. So where does the rest of that 90% go?
When you look at plastic, you know how it helps
Don't
things.
these commercials seem so propaganda and goofy now that you know the truth? Yeah, there's happy music here, and listen to what the corporations are saying. It's good.
Stay fresh and safe and light and unbreakable and strong and easy to carry. But take another look. Plastic also saves energy because it helps make cars lighter to save gas. And plastic insulation helps save energy at home. Even these strong plastic bags help save energy because they take less energy to make than other grocery bags. To learn more, call this number for a free booklet. And take another look at plastic.
Most of the 300 million tons of plastic waste produced each year that isn't recycled ends up in landfills. But not all of it ends up there. Around 10 million tons ends up in the ocean each year as well. That's the equivalent of one garbage truck full of plastic being dumped into the ocean every single minute, according to some estimates. This could be accidental due to heavy rain and wind moving trash into the ocean, or it could be from illegal dumping, with most of it coming from Asian countries we sell our trash to. And since plastic isn't biodegradable, most of it slowly breaks into smaller and smaller pieces over time. These tiny pieces of plastic are called microplastics, and they either form a sludge layer in the middle of the ocean or end up being eaten by fish.
Aww.
And no matter if you're a raging environmentalist SJW or a hardcore conservative, this creates a problem for you. Not only does it kill marine life like dolphins and whales, we all know about that, but that same plastic ends up seeping its way into practically everything we eat. It's in the delicious sushi I'm addicted to, other forms of seafood, it's in the salt taken from the ocean water, it's in things that don't even come from the ocean like fruits and vegetables, with apples having the highest concentration of microplastics, and broccoli and carrots trailing
Bro, what the fuck are we supposed to eat then, man? How do you avoid this?
behind, and sometimes it's even found in the air we breathe. Decades of plastic use have contaminated our air, water, and soil. Eating just a bite of an apple can now mean eating hundreds of thousands of bits of plastic at the same time. And just like when cigarettes first came out, there wasn't decades of smoking history to base studies off of, so doctors just assumed it wasn't bad for you, giving smoking their stamp of approval. Today, we still don't have a clear picture on what the long-term effects of consuming plastic are. Yes, we love plastic so much that we become one with the same material concocted by plastic and oil giants. Now, if you watch this channel, you know that I am not the biggest fan of taxes or a giant all-consuming government. That's why I'm not going to use this opportunity to push you guys to support more government programs funded by taxes, more regulations.
Team trees, right?
Like every environmentalist. Instead, I'm going to push you guys to donate to Team C's.
Alright, cool. Shout out to Jake Tran, you woke me up. Chat, we got a creativity kit call tomorrow at 4 p.m. We got a special guest, Jordan Welch. Tune in for that. We're going to have a great talk. We're going to all make money in network. I'm doing 3 calls a week now, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The Creativity Kit, that's thecreativitykit.com. My Discord is discord.com/invite/SNEAKO. It's not in the link today because the link in the description is my new documentary out on my main channel. Everybody's saying, Mr. Old SNEAKO, get off of my dick. That's my new favorite video not one of my favorites. How to View Women is up there. Check out my main channel if you haven't. My documentary is just uploaded today. I really got no other reason to push that than it's just art. My main channel is now going to be my art channel. It's a movie, bro. If you already put a W if you saw the documentary. Put a W if you saw the documentary and you fuck with it. Not if you didn't like it, you need to put it. But put a W right now for the people who didn't know. Check that out. Link in the description right now. That's the only link that I want to promote. But all my streams get re-uploaded to patreon.com/SNEAKO. That's where you can find this stream. Look at all the W's, bro. Look at it. Yo, I appreciate you for fucking with that. Follow me on Instagram at SNEAKO. My Twitter got suspended. You know what it is. You know what it is. Kelly, W5%. Shout out to all my female viewers. Kelly Christine, I love you. She's $10 to God. Show me how much he loved us by sending his son into the world so that we have an eternal life through him. That's real love, that he loved us and sent his son as a sacrifice to take away our sins. 1 John 4, 9, 10. Kelly Christine, do you want to get married? Shout out to my 5% female viewers. Is she hot, chat? I don't know. Nope, she's a woman of God. She's probably in a good relationship. I don't want to get interfere with that. Follow God. God is good. Protect yourself. Protect your energy. Make sure to look and find me on also Rumble. SNEAKO Live on Rumble. I got a Telegram too. It's not in this description, but you can find it in the description of recent videos. I got a Telegram you can follow. They're going to keep on trying to silence me, but I'm able to bob and weave, bro, because I'm trans now. I'm gay. I'm Sneakita from now on. If you use SNEAKO, you a dead namer. That's transphobic. Peace out, chat. Have a great night. Stay safe. God is good.
Allahu Akbar!